back the biff because I love it in the derby.
You're getting a please explain that, Willow.
Don't worry about that.
Sell-out crowd, rivalry round, the derby's underway. Josh Carr's gone to Fletcher. Longmuir in the ruck. Daniel Kerr trying to find Cousins. He's wrapped up by Embley. Plenty of players around the ball. Holding the ball, Embley came over the top, and that's why the free kick was given away. The Dockers now. They'll go forward. Dodd kicking long. Longmuir up early. Whistle on the play, and it's going back to Longmuir.
Pavlik on Glass. Huge challenge for Glass.
50 metres, Tim.
Against Dean Cox. Didn't look a lot in it. Justin Longmuir milked it for what it was worth, and it's going to be costly. He'll kick from about 15 metres out.
Umpire Brett Allen right on the spot, and Longmuir, who was so good last week at Launceston, best player for the Dockers, 25 disposals.
Unusual for Peter Bell. He is just mouthing off beautifully there, getting into Dean Cox, and so you should. Welcome along to the derby. Very soft. Very soft.
But clever by this man. There was contact, he made the most of it.
Yeah, and he was in great touch last week too.
2 goals for the season so far, lining up from 15 metres out, directly in front. Shouldn't be a problem, it isn't. The Dockers on the board in derby number 21.
You've got to look at that. Straight after that, every player from Fremantle just came streaming into Longmuir. They're cherry ripe for this game. When they're on top, Fremantle, they are very, very hard to stop. And the West Coast boys have to be well and truly standing in front of their men now, because they wouldn't want Fremantle to get an early run on, because they just get their tails up.
Justin Longmuir, aided by a 50-metre penalty. Perfect conditions. Ground in tip-top shape. A couple of late changes and a colourful start. Cox to Judd. Selwood on his own. Woods just hung up him. Now Selwood can keep going, although he didn't get some assistance there from Embley. In the foreground, Selwood. Cousins, this will test him. Back with the fight. Here's Hanson, he's the hot man at the Eagles. Lots of push in the back, should go to Kerr. Nothing doing, that was tough. And he got one from Black going past behind. It's tough for stuff already here. Let me tell you, Daniel Kerr got ridden in the back, and then Heath Black gave him one for good measure on the way through.
Really has been no consistency in the AFL, because they were just paying that all so far this weekend. That's been paid every time.
Inside 50 for the Eagles. Josh Carr, Selwood over the footy. Brilliant. Judd to Banfield, suited by the left foot. Ordinary kick to the front of the square. Sampi, was he held? No. Thump down. Fremantle do well. Last line of defence. Eventually Parker rushes it through for the first score for West Coast. But this has a wonderful feeling about it. 40,000 fans. As the Dockers up by 5 points.
Medhurst has Chick looking after him during the course. And Andrew Embley, who has been in great touch for West Coast, has Stephen Dodd taking his number.
McFarlane the target, and he's the man that takes the mark from the car kick. Just outside his defensive 50. Just going back to Carr, but Sampi's covered that well. Plenty of space on the outer side to Shane Parker. Joining the 200 club tonight. First man to do so from Fremantle. Wonderful effort. AFL game 187. This is Polak, who's been in good nick as well. On centre wing. Can go back through the middle to Carr, who'd come up from defence. Eagles getting plenty of numbers behind the ball here. Carr waiting for Pavlich, and Glass just letting him go. Pavlich, well, just took his eyes off it and was thinking ahead. Long ball, gets plenty on it. Chick reads it the best, and he was superb last week against Gary Ablett. He started on Medhurst as we expected, and he started well. Fletcher, a disposal machine. Not his best kick though, straight to Des Hedlund. The Dockers turn it round quickly. Walker with some pace. Hazelby the target. Made good use of the body, but then spilled the mark. Cousins will get it back from Banfield, and away goes the captain. Heads in the Staker direction. Should have taken the mark, but push, not paid. Kerr round the body. Lynch running hard out in front of Pollack, makes a real meal of it. Parker comes in to lend a hand. Docker's not out of trouble yet. The bounce goes straight over Wood's head. Selwood caught high, play on. Plenty going on off the ball. Braun in some space now. The umpire finally pays it.
Non-controlling umpire Justin Schmidt coming in
From 100 metres away. He's got his eyes open.
He's definitely there. Selwood too far out to score. 65 out. He puts it to the hot spot. Hanson and Thornton. There's Lynch. There's a throw off. It's against Hanson. He just got rid of Thornton. Out. Carr breaks for him. Far side. Carr to half forward. Glass running with the flight. Pavlich back.
This is going to be a great battle with those two boys. Glass has been in fantastic form. Has really been the skipper of the back half for West Coast. And Pavlich, outstanding he's been.
Jeff Farmer out of the hot action early. Hunter could have grabbed it from that contest. Instead he swatted it down to Woods. A late inclusion. Took on the tackle. Gone. That's holding the ball. No, said the umpire. He put it on the ground. Here's Black. Busy early. Carr likewise. Hazelby. The midfield links up nicely to centre half forward. Longmuir striding. Good mark. Too far out to score. He's on the front of the centre square. Gives it off to Matthew Carr. Medhurst is the target. Chick close to him. Works him under the footy. Here's Des Headland. Boundary line. Des Headland across the face. Still in play. Glass and Pavlich. It has been played at a frenetic pace.
Match up after match, but Michael Braun going with Josh Carr. Huge effort. And Matt Carr, he's going with Chris Judd.
A lot of talk during the week. Farmer, McManus, both starting on the bench with Sandilands and Shammer, who's into the side. Fletcher. Well, first option may have been the correct one, but in the end he gave it to Judd, who gets it back from Cox. Has started well, no one to kick to. Open space. Eagles have got numbers. They need the ball to stay in here, and they do it well. Sampy, back to Judd. Little chip over the top. Selwood is free here and can go. Woods getting back to fill the hole. Parker with pace. Dropped it. Chance now for Kerr. Onto his left foot. Runs to 50 metres. Keeps it low. Bad kick. He's going to run back for a behind. Just perhaps caught in two minds whether to have a ping or to find Lynch on the lead.
Just loves going onto his left foot. Don't know why he does that. Had plenty of time to go to his right foot. But you got to give a lot of credit to Young Jones when Sampy came up bleeding for that ball. Jones just put in a beautiful shepherd. All those things are missed in footy.
Chris Judd has 5 disposals. 3 to Cousins and Selwood and Kerr. 3. 4 to Josh Carr. Walker. Here's Cook, gain 150. Heard the voice inside from Bell. Gives it to Carr Matthew. Medhurst again. Again he runs underneath the foot. He didn't read it at all well. Wapunda zigs and then zags, and Braun breaks for him out wide. Chick is there. Does he take it? He does. Glass. Now Fletcher's on. Further down the ground. Possession 3. Kick not great. Numbers favour Freo. Woods was involved with Black and Josh Carr. And here's Webster. Forward 50. Little chip. Good kick. Good lead. And Pavlich, the main man for Fremantle up forward, will go back from just inside 50 and has a chance to kick Fremantle's second goal. And there's Ben Cousins sucking in the deep ones.
It hasn't been too bad at the moment. Cousins, that thing doesn't really seem to worry him at all. He's attacked the footy. His hands have been knocked around by the opposition already. Looks like he'll carry that off. I don't know if I like this matchup between Glass and Pavlich. I think Pavlich is just going to be too quick across the ground and the motor too big.
4 goals. Playing at a centre half forward from right on 50. Distance not a problem. But there's the little hook, and he knows that was a golden opportunity. That is no problems with the range. Just had to give it that little extra. Here's the mistake. But it is Fremantle by 5 points. 9.5 minutes gone. Derby 21. Crowd almost 40,000.
Great kick. And they're enjoying a very good start. That is a super kick. That's to the centre square to Hunter. Judd looking ominous. And quite first couple of rounds, certainly for the Brownlow medalist standard. Braun. Low ball. Lynch. He's got great pace to get in front. Beats Hansen, dancing. Trying to release Sampi, gets a bad bounce, but traps it beautifully. Ashley Sampi round the corner, misses. Just got the feeling looking at the matchup before the game, Peter, that we talked about the small forwards, they've all been down a bit. Ashley Sampi, Matera at one end and Medhurst in front at the other, going to be so important.
And two of them sitting on the pine, which is very interesting. Both coaches not overly confident that the two small forward combinations have been working for them.
Exactly. Bell with the kick, Thornton, relatively easy, and some good talking, and marks it on his chest.
Very similar to what we saw last week between West Coast and Geelong. Just man-on-man competitions all over the ground.
Thornton to Parker, and presenting Dodd. A few numbers getting back now. We've seen this a couple of times already from the Dockers. Not prepared to kick to the contest just yet. Headland gets free, takes the mark. But the Eagles have manned up very well here. Headland shorts it. The Dodd, who's just building on his possessions. And whilst they've still got the football, making no inroads really whatsoever. And if you're an Eagles defender, you're quite happy with this. Eventually going to kick to the contest. Matthew Carr provides in front of Selwood. We've seen Medhurst the target a few times. Back they go through the middle. Walker, long ball. Hayes will be a target. He's good overhead for his signs, but the spoil came. Webster took his eye off it. He was free. Banfield to Judd. Handball over the top. Eagles are clear.
Cousins wants to come off the ground. He is struggling. Fletcher gives it off. Now West Coast to half-foot Lynch. A mile down. He's having one of those nights. There's Polar. Judd. Great pick up. Wapunda. Was he taken high? No. Des Headland wanted to throw. Hazelby. Busy early. So too Black. Gets a lucky ricochet. Wrapped up. With the ball up. But Ben Cousins still in the middle of the ground. There he is. He's just not right. He's just not right. And it's got nothing to do with the finger. He just looks distressed. Hunter. Quick kick. This is in the direction of Cousins. Walker. Numbers favour Freo. Good shepherd by Woods on Braun to give some space to Bell. Hazelby's been paid the mark.
We seem to be bored with Ben Cousins. You look at his face, always think he's distressed. He ends up being one of the best on ground here.
Well, he hasn't got within 10 metres of Walker in the last 5 minutes since being in the hands of the trainers. I wonder if Fremantle can expose that. But here's Matthew Carr. How busy has he been? On 50. Chick, Medhurst. Chick and Medhurst. Hand on the shoulders for a free kick there. No, Wapunda rushes it through. And Chick again was in outstanding form last week. And Paul Medhurst, he has his moments.
Hosky coming up for his first run. Drew Banfield having a quick break. Little Phil Matera warming up on the sidelines, ready for his first run. West Coast no doubt looking for something else in their forward line to give them a bit of spark.
Just the one goal so far. To Longmuir. There's the kick and Chick is long. Dean Cox front and square, roving it. Waits for support. Finally arrives the version of Fletcher, who breaks clear. Terrific pace. Chipped it out in front of Nikoski. Needs a kind bounce, gets it. Parker. Experience. Beautifully done. Read it well. And now gives it to the advantage of Cook. That's a good take. Nice and clean. Up in front. Webster. Right with him with Punter. Webster. Again just trying to spin it before he had it. Back to Walker. Black caught on the wrong side. Skews off the side of the boot. Out of bounds on the full. Cousins comes off for a spell. Matera comes on as West Coast head back in the direction of David Weir-Punda.
Straight sitting down, Cousins too. He doesn't walk along the boundary like most players do when he comes off the ground. He went straight to sit down. Now he's talking to the doctor in the physio.
Fletcher being busy. When isn't it? 25 disposals, an average out of his first 2 games, and he's already on 6. Michael Braun now. So I guess a mirror image of what the Dockers are doing here.
It's exactly the same, Matt. It's going to be a very difficult game of football as far as the scoreboard's concerned if we're going to be stuck with this.
Down the line, Hanson's found it tough. McFarlane nudged him under the footy. Staker, ball held to him, now spills loose. Holak, Dodd, took a long time. He had plenty of support. Look at that, a nest of Dockers, 4 in fact. Matthew Carr doing it at both ends. Dion Woods defensive 50. He looks up and saw Sandland breaking for him. Thought that might not be the right option. He gave it back to Carr. Look out, fill material was bearing down. Held it well. Headland should give to the run of Hazelby and does. This kid normally good. Pavlich is causing problems for Glass. And the angle is really the only problem here for Matthew Pavlich, tied up on the boundary line.
He's just not used to this style of opposition, Glass. He's just, always body on body, getting his opportunities, can't get his hand in there and out-muscle someone. Pavlich is always going to be on the break, on the lead, taking a leap into the football. As we said 5 minutes ago or 10 minutes ago, difficult matchup.
Mark number 2, kick number 3. On 48 metres. Missed. The anguish. The grimace. And the headline so far.
Well, man football is going to continue for a period of time. Hunter not looking too good. He might be coming up for a spell.
I just saw that hit that collected Ben Cousins in the contest on the outer wing, which is the reason for his distress and the reason he's on the bench at the moment. And he's won the Ross Glendinning medal twice. There's Fletcher, and he kicks it out wide. Beautifully placed kick to the lead of Selwood. Long looking for Hanson again. Worked under the ball by McFarlane. Kerr and Headland. Some talent here. Kerr waiting, beautifully done. That's supreme football from Daniel Kerr. Over to Hanson, inside the forward 50. Good use of the body by Lynch. He'll have a shot from 40 metres out. And Daniel Kerr can be very pleased that his good work has been rewarded by a mark inside 50 by his teammate.
Hanson and the McFarlane matchup, well, we spoke about that earlier in the program, and he's just been working Hanson under the football, and that time 2 players going to 1, allowing Hanson to be by themselves. Almost a cardinal sin to do that in the forward line. But great work by Hanson, popping it up. The big man, the big unit, is stuck out the don't argue.
Hasn't been in good form. He's just got the 1 goal so far this year. Make that 2, he's doubled his score. The Eagles get there first, scores a level.
Big Dean Cox comes to the boundary line. Been a great battle with Longmuir. Jamie Graham comes on for the West Coast Eagles for his first run. And big Quinton Lynch, after what was a fabulous effort, comes into the ruck.
It's an arm wrestle. I had to use it early. Lynch and Longmuir kick the goals. Justin early from a 50-metre penalty. Sandlands. Shammer taken high.
It was smart though, wasn't it? He knew the contact was coming.
Hit a bell. Released into the midfield now. Here is Sandlands. Good give to Carr. Again, Matthew been very busy. That's not one of his better kicks. It floats inside 50. Oh, Jones put it down. Pavlich gives back the hand pass. Farmer, intelligent if he meant it. Here's Byron. Byron's back. Not good. Clean bowls. Boy, did he touch it? It doesn't matter. He's close to the line. Will he try and rush it through? He does. A funny sport where a team gives you a score and the crowd boo.
Yes.
Shammer back into the fray very, very quickly. He's had a broken arm, I think what it was, and still strapped up.
Scaphoid.
Thank you very much, Tim.
Sort of in the wrist and thumb area. Scaphoid, I think is the correct terminology.
Thanks, Dr. Gossage. Daniel Chick.
Do you do house calls?
In my heyday.
We'll just get on with the footy. This is Jones. 1-4 to 1-3. Goals hard to come by as Butler finds himself just outside his defensive 50.
Got Braun on the other side by himself.
Where's the next kick go? No one's read it to the West Coast because Butler's still got it. Now to Braun. Not sure about this. Over the top came Hazelby. Great spring, good spoil. And it brings it undone. So boundary throw in, half-forward flank for the Dockers. There's a spring from Hazelby. Played the percentage. Man that really does enjoy the Western Derby is Paul Hazelby. He's got Selwood running with him at the moment. Ball spills into the middle. Peter Bell trying to evade the tackle. It came from Nikoski. Jones, well worked, releases Braun into the clear. Long ball inside his forward 50. Out comes Jamie Graham for his first mark. Came off the rookie list from South Fremantle. He's in a late change, and that's not a bad start.
And he probably would have played a couple of weeks ago had he not had his wisdom teeth taken out. He was a late withdrawal. He was basically going to be in the squad and then had his wisdom teeth taken out. And here he is now on the AFL stage.
Here he is for his first kick. Right inside the 50. Looks pretty good. He's got it. Welcome to the big league, Jamie Graham. He's pumped up. He's getting high 10s and 5s all round, and why wouldn't he be? The Eagles are back in front.
And he has yet to make a mistake in his career. That's just a beautiful lead. A nice take and straight through the middle. Fabulous effort for Jamie Graham. You've got to be a very happy young lad. But I tell you what, this boy's been doing plenty from the half-back line. Jones, he's been straight lines, tackled well, and both sides at the moment really getting plenty of service from their back halves.
Joins the elite club. Goal with your first kick in football. Jamie Graham. And the Eagles, 5 points up. The last couple. Oh, hit hard by Cook. Shammer swats it forward with numbers. Favour West Coast. Selwood, good kick. Cousins back on the ground. All A-OK. Hand passes back inboard, sorting it out. Butler, heard a voice inside. It's Jones. Slews off the boot to half forward. Clean bowls, Josh Carr. Body on body, Woods and Kerr with plenty of courage. Shammer over the footy. Still over it. And a ball up. Tiffany Cherry.
Nothing much wrong with Ben Cousins. He just received a knock, so they took him off the ground so he could gather his composure. But as you can see, he is fine.
In the centre square, there's a free kick, a whack in the face. Quinton Lynch earns the free kick. The Eagles appear to have steadied. Now he can roost the football as Brett Jones comes off and Hunter on. Hanson's the target. Numbers favour Freo. Good spoil McFarlane. Carr legged.
Wasn't a bad tackle to start with David Wood-Aponja just sliding down the body. Very hard to get hold of sometimes. Matt Carr just shrugs his big shoulders.
He's had a great start to the season, and he's picking up where he left off because the Carr brothers are on top of the disposal list for the Dockers, 7 and 6. High ball. Sandlin's got rid of Lynch, but they didn't take the mark. Kerr cutting it off though. Walker. Thornton picking up the crumbs, just banging it forward. Pavlich right with Glass. Clever knock forward, it ends up with Pavlich. The 60 metres out. This time Medhurst has got away from Daniel Chick.
Paul Hazelby being just chipping in absolutely beautifully. Started off an absolute treat so far, Hazelby, using the football period every time he's had it. Just no turnovers. Straight to a positive move for Fremantle. Been great.
So Medhurst found it hard to get into the game. This is his first shot on goal. Leading goal scorer in the first 2 games for the Dockers. 5 goals, 3. Usually very reliable from this distance. No problems whatsoever. He's got one. So the margin back to just a point. The Dockers sneak in front.
Rebound football once again. Quinn Lynch didn't use that footy too well. Tried to pick out Hanson, McFarlane and co all over him, and then the run once again from the Fremantle back half. Just a quick turnover. Football moved very quickly up the ground, and Hayes will be also beneficiary.
Medhurst, 6th goal of the season.
Can't afford to give him any meterage at all. He will cut you up, and he'll check some. Really got a big job in front of him.
A minute to go in the quarter. Again, Fletcher, the give to Wapunda, to Braun. One last chance. Braun inside 50 hairs. Jamie Graham. Ball comes to the back. Thornton. He rushes it through. Ties it up. Ties it up just 47 seconds.
What a mix there. Andrew Embley. Scott Thornton just having a little go. Just struggling at the moment, Embley. Yet to have touched the football. It was an outstanding form last week. And at the moment, really struggling to find the football at all.
So Peter Bell to bring the ball back in. 2-4 apiece. 45-second. McFarlane will fly it one-handed over the top. Kerr close to the boundary line. I'll be happy with that. Shammer ready in the thick of the action. Very much an interrupted pre-season. There's no doubt he was going to play. That was part of the Ducks and Drakes all week that he wasn't, but he was always going to be a late inclusion. Here's Sandlands, put it on the ground. Judd, interesting give. Lynch, 30 seconds to go. Now this is good. It's good setup. Now Nikoski can run and go. He can kick a long ball. He's at centre half forward. Kicks long to the line. The spoil. It's over, but they are in dangerous territory. West Coast, 18 seconds to go. All tied up.
Not handy when you're looking at some of your key forwards. Phil Matera, yet to have touched the football. Embley the same.
Sandilands just down. Walker, can the Eagles snare one? Jot right before quarter time. Matera caught. Shammer knocks Hunter out of the way. Scramble of players. Clock ticking down. Cook can't get free. Umpire will come in. And in great Western Derby fashion, it's very close. In fact, it is quarter time. And scores are level. Couldn't ask for a better result than that. 2 goals, 4 apiece. Ben Cousins spent some time on the bench after copping a heavy knock, but he's out there. He's back leading his side. And as I mentioned just before the game began, the importance of the start. Most of the times, if you're in front at quarter time, you win the Western Derby. We'll take a break from Subiaco. The scores are level in what has been a very good start.
Can't catch every game? Then watch The Winners.
We'll recap everything you need to know about every game.
Every Sunday night from 7:30. Get all the highlights, stats and post-match reaction from every game with this week's host, Clinton Drivus.
It's footy's ultimate wrap every Sunday.
The Winners, Sunday at 7:30 local on Fox Footy Channel. Feeling the squeeze? Harvey Norman takes the pressure off with 48 months interest-free on Now. Yes, today's trends, tomorrow's technology. It's all yours now on 48 months interest-free at Harvey Norman. Lounges, dining, bedding, bedroom suites, everything electrical from big screens to coffee machines. All that's hot in digital cameras and desktops, phones and laptops, and so much more. Don't wait. Go Harvey Norman and start living now with 48 incredible months interest-free. Now, that's a rate worth your interest. Good one, Harvey. Don't miss out.
How would you like to see your favourite team play here at Subiaco Oval in Perth? Virgin Blue will fly you and a friend. You'll have waterfront accommodation at the Seaville Residence East Perth. Thrifty car rental for 7 days to explore Perth and the beautiful Margaret River region. And a luxurious ocean view villa at Key West Resort Bunker Bay. arguably one of WA's best beaches. Plus, enjoy lunch at the famous Fast Felix Winery and Restaurant. Simply SMS your name plus your favourite AFL team for your chance to win.
The excitement machine, McLeod. Left foot goal.
Oh, don't tell me.
He's a superstar.
Don't tell me.
Good night.
60 seconds to go. Mooney to Hunt. Pick up with an inspirational smother. Lane. Handball. Mooney can finish it. Take it down, Byron. Put more in this one. Lane. Handball. Mooney can finish it. Take it down, Byron. Put more in this one.
It's showtime, 8:30 every Sunday night for the premium movies you've been looking for. In April, Samuel L. Jackson and Milla Jovovich thrill in No Good Deed. The Rock collides with the Scot in the action comedy Welcome to the Jungle. Olivia Martinez turns up the heat on Colin Farrell with a $100 million offer in SWAT. And Russell Crowe heads for the high seas in Master and Commander. In coming Sundays, Steve Martin has his hands full in Cheaper by the Dozen, and Kate Beckinsale takes us deep inside Underworld. Make a date, 8:30 every Sunday night with Showtime.
Join us on Tuesday, the roughest and toughest demon of them all. That many reported Rodney Grinder. Plus the greatest centre-back in Geelong's history, Rich Hickey. Oh no, it was John Hall.
Don't miss Grumpy Old Men, Tuesdays on Fox Footy Channel.
Welcome back to Subiaco. Quarter time in the Derby, and look at that. Scores level. You couldn't ask for any better. 2-4 apiece. Longmuir kicking the game off with his first goal. Medhurst has one. And Jamie Graham with a goal, his first kick in football. The usual suspects with the disposals. The Carr brothers and Walker and Fletcher, Judd and Kerr, as John Worsfold has a long chat to his team at quarter time. It's the northern version of the rivalry round taking place at the Gabba between the Lions and the Swans. Will show you a progress score of that game. Once again, if you don't want to know the score, you can look away now. Let's head down to the boundary once again. We're pretty excited up here, Tiff. Is the atmosphere as good as it feels?
Oh, the atmosphere is great down here. Actually, the Dockers need to get a little bit louder, but I'm sure that will happen through the game. We saw Ben Cousins came off for a few minutes in that quarter, and the reason being he actually emptied the contents of his stomach during the break. So obviously he's not feeling too well after receiving a knock, but he's not coming to the bench, so he should be okay to stay on. Daniel Kerr, a bit of a concern with his right ankle. They're just doing some work on that, but he should be fine as well. And as far as the Dockers go, we had James Walker had a little bit of work done on his lower back, and a couple of the players changing their boots from the moulded into the screwing. So interesting.
Thanks, Tiff.
Yeah, I must admit, that's very good. I did see a lot of the West Coast Eagles players going to ground. Fremantle players tended to keep their feet, and they just looked a lot more exciting in that aspect. Can't afford to go to ground.
Interesting, Lynch and Staker off for the West Coast Eagles, out of the forward line. They've gone smaller in this second term.
Well, I guess they're going to really have to start looking for an avenue to goals, and Sampi, maybe that's the way to go. He's gone straight to full forward. Jamie Graham hiding away in the pocket.
One down, 3 to go. Scores are still level. Same as the start of the game as Hazelby drives the Dockers forward. Pavlich did well, he gave it to Farmer. Lightning hands from Farmer, over to Heath Black, goal! That's the start the Dockers are looking for in the second term. Farmer started on the bench, and gee, that was quick hands.
Yeah, look at the little man's fired up about this. No player likes sitting on the pine at the start of the game, especially in a big game like this. He is ready to go. But again, once it's Pavlich. He was the go-to man, too strong. Had two players there, and he just did all the hard work, got the football down. In came Farmer, in came Black, and put your glasses down, it's all over.
Just his second kick for the night, Heath Black. Connects for a goal. It's a very good give from Jeff Farmer. Good teamwork. Taken high, Judd. So Fremantle get the first goal of the opening two terms. Here's Judd, just backward of centre circle. Hanson in best position. Embley back with the flight, put his body on the line. McManus wraps it up to Selwood. Here's Hanson again, give to Fletcher. Knocked out of the grass by Headland. Ball up, 53 metres out. Troy Cook game 150. Sandland, Webster, Woods on the bench.
It's difficult going in your forward line when your centre half forward is 30 metres out and starts pointing in the direction of the kick instead of just making a full-blooded lead.
Longmuir, excellent. Peter Bell kicks the space. Here's Farmer, quick, good gather. Hazelby under pressure. Headland has Walker inside. He has Carr outside Matthew. Now Farmer's run on, but Carr throws it on the boot inside 50. Here it is again. Medhurst and Chick punched by the ladder to Nikoski. Went without the football. Cousins over it. Nikoski had to go in and try and fix it up. He got off it there for a moment. Mark Nikoski sort of spent it before he got it.
I think he was really just looking for that body contact, Tim, and he just took his eye off the football. And a hard game of football, you can't do that. You've just got to take possession and take the punishment when it comes.
Longmuir over the top, Josh Carr. Cousins read it, Bell arrives late, Cousins gives it up, over to Hazelby. Goal! Another one to the Dockers. Two quick goals, Ben Cousins not too happy about that. What did you think, Peter? Is it just one of those things he got a call, or was there nothing said?
Oh, you never know, Paul Hazelby, ex-East Fremantle player, as his Cousins. Maybe the call was there. Very ordinary, though, as far as teamwork's concerned. Just no chat, no support, but great tackle by Bell. Skipper's captain's tackle just made the turnover, and Hazelby as easy a load.
So 3 minutes have expired in the second quarter. Dockers have got out to a 12-point lead. Biggest of the game. Cox down to Fletcher. Possession 9. Phil Matera. Here's Hanson again. McFarlane gathered. Under pressure. Thought, was he taken high? No, the throw's been paid against McFarlane. So Ashley Sampi
really has been a fantastic change in his style of football, Ashley Sampi. How he just keeps on doing the defensive things and the hard things. The tackle was superb. Of course, you need that quick ball in, and West Coast got one of their early breaks. Good to see Fletcher.
From 50 metres out. He's pushed it across the face. He's second behind, Ashley Sampi.
Players around the ball again. Fremantle getting lots of numbers down. Medhurst, the only player in the forward 50 for Fremantle.
Carr forced to kick very, very wide, and West Coast will be happy with that. They have a boundary throw in on the apex of where the 50 cuts the line. 4-4 to 2-5. Dockers by 11 points. They won early in the year last year by a similar margin. Fletcher off the right, gets plenty on it, right to the line. Good contest. Down and behind, and Chad Fletcher continues with his All-Australian form. 4-4 to 2-6 now. And this time it'll be Parker to kick in for the Donkers. Short into the pocket to Josh Carr.
Just giving up that easy one. There's just nothing on for Fremantle at the moment.
Time to play on, and kicks it high, which is what the Eagles are looking for. Can Cox get there in time? Late, but almost got the mark. Here's Judd, and there goes Judd. He's gone. He's inside 50. He kicks the goal. He is a genius. He is the genius. I hope you're enjoying this game wherever you're watching on Fox Footy. And the Brownlow medalist is back to his best tonight.
Well, the outriding of West Coast was just superb there, setting it up for a big kick. Josh Carr had no other option. The big talls and Cox, Hansen just brought that football down the ground. McCoskey, plenty of people around the floor. And Judd, how does he shape those tackles?
First goal of the year for Chris Judd.
His ability to shake those tackles really is just a highlight of footy.
Perfect bounce. The 220s go at it. Hazelby, fresh air shot. Fletcher, quick give. McCoskey, Hansen, knees. Quick numbers around the footy for West Coast. Selwood to Butler to Banfield. Chip to Braun. All the bees. They back off him. He was allowed to make some valuable ground inside 50, and Cox has floated down. As easy as you like for West Coast. 5 or 6 uncontested possessions.
Just ran away from the centre bounce down. Longmuir didn't go with him. Went into the forward 50 and went straight across the line. From one side of the ground, Longmuir just pointing over, looking for some help. Wasn't there. Great run from Dane Cox.
His agility makes him pretty dangerous when he pushes forward, and he's a pretty good goal kicker. He's going to be stretched here. He'll kick from outside 50. A goal, and the Eagles will be in front. It's not a good strike. To the line, Thornton under pressure. Here's Byron Shammer. Walker, Longmuir. Four square. 10 pass game. Eventually Dodd concedes the ball, and that's the 4th rush behind for the West Coast Eagles. Now 3-7-25, the margin back to 3 points. Fremantle 4-4-28. Crowd 41,500 at Subiaco.
Longmuir again the target. Good strong take. Now Parker running for him. Long ball. Farmer wants body on body. Did well. Craves the contest with Banfield and got it. Padlett provides some run. Schick and Medhurst. Schick on top in that department when there's any chance of one-on-one. We're punter happy to see it over the line. He's just got to get it right out in front of Medhurst. If it's going to be up high, Schick's going to beat him every time.
You just don't want the body on body with those two. Because Daniel Schick very, very strong on a one-on-one. Worked by Farmer though, and he's with Banfield. He had the momentum. Banfield just sitting there flat-footed.
Fletcher at the contest with Judd. Selwood. Judd wanted it back and he was ignored. He won't be happy because Selwood's given it up to Dodd.
Doing a great job, Stephen Dodd. Andrew Embley has been a great player for West Coast. Still hasn't touched the ball.
And Dodd's had 5 possessions himself. Now this is Carr. Josh Carr. Short. That's the kick for Medhurst. Just get it out in front of him, let him run onto it.
I think Daniel Chick can do that.
That's right.
West Coast looking for something in their forward half. Fremantle forward line now starting to function a little better. Hansen's come off for a break, and Staker has gone on for his first run.
Chick and Dean Cox trading words there. I think Chick was expecting Cox to fill that hole.
Just looking for some help, as you would expect from the midfielders and your ruckman.
Medhurst, a set shot from the first quarter, went straight through. The Dockers lead by 3. He's attempting to make that 9. We're right behind him. On the reverse. Medhurst hits the woodwork. Just a little bit of a curl right at the end. Thought that was going through. Just the behind.
Just got too close to the man on the mark. Should have gone back, taken his time, walked up there and just trying to chip it over.
Dean Cox. What's on offer? Selwood is on his own at centre-half back. He'll go out wide. This is interesting. Chip looked down the ground, and the only option, the only spot there was Justin Longmuir, and he's eventually had to kick it there. It was a 2-on-1 contest. Staker outnumbered. So he didn't work that out too well, West Coast. Change direction. McManus. Again, plenty of players forward to this ball. Walker strides up. Farmer's been good.
Terrific kick.
Michael Braun, who's normally the player looking after Farmer, has been around with Josh Carr. You've got to look at moving now. I think Banfield could go with Carr.
There's a bit going on too between Headland and Kerr. About 25 out. I've just had a little tape. Farmer very patient. Now he's been called to play on. Banfield heard the call. Farmer just puts it up. Who's going to fly? Hazelby! Didn't take the mark. Ball spilled. Cox again does the roving to Braun. Phil Matera playing in the back pocket, is he? Does well. Butler now should give it back to Matera. He's had a steam. He comes in board and Nikoski to stake up. Barely signed out. It's on behind play. Still going on between Headland and Kerr. It's been going on for a couple of minutes. Here's Fletcher. Zigs and then zags and gives it to Selwood. Little chip inside 50. Dodd does well again. Bell goes to ground under the tackle. Walker heard a voice. It was Pollack. Interesting give. Parker's been excellent. Stands in the tackle. Out wide to Shammer. He swats it to the boundary line. And eventually we'll have a throw in. Des Headland, Daniel Kerr. They tell me Des Headland's going to go a round or two with Danny Green, the boxing champion.
It'll be very interesting. I have been told very first hand from Gary Ingram, who's out at the Fremantle gym, and thinks Desi can go a bit.
Here's Judd breaking free from the contest once again. Beautiful kick. Matera up the ground again. Heads high. Heads to the square. Big pack. Sampi came over the top. Staker. Almost a miraculous. And again, another rush behind, and this time it's Thornton. That's number 5, Tim.
That's the 5th rush behind.
Almost a leading scorer is the West Coast, Fremantle. Just no functioning forward line. It's got to be a huge worry for Worsfold at the moment, because his forward line is all over the shop. They are going sideways. No one in the forward square to straighten them up.
Josh Carr again for the Dockers to bring it into the pocket and hooks it across the body a bit, kept it low. Staker was in front. That's good work from McManus to get it to Bell. Through Pavlich. Here's Shammer. Right within Braun. It's a little bit untidy, but Pavlich came back to help out. Good numbers, West Coast. Glass spots up Nikoski. They've got plenty of run here. Cox got it from Banfield. Wider to the wing. Butler. 20 metres in space. Now measures the kick. Needs to be on target. It's not. That's in the back. Cook will take the free kick.
James Walker. McManus is working hard up the ground. Hazelby has a well-earned rest boundary side. So to that man, Ben Cousins. The nasty knock early. Just the one kick. He's had the 6 handballs, so much for the sore finger. McFarlane's been called to play on. He just does a little shimmy on the spot. Dodd back under pressure from Staker. Again, numbers favour West Coast. Sampi looks up. Not a good kick. Bad option. And Cook has taken the mark.
Very hard for Sampi. First time he looked up, there was nothing but Fremantle players inside his forward 50.
There's Sampi back with the flight. Oh, he's put it down. That wasn't too flash. Numbers favour Freo. 3 on 2. Matthew Carr just wanted it and hacked it forward to half forward. Hunter. I'm sorry, Glass it is. As Justin Longmuir comes off. Now Cousins about to come on for Selwood. Sandilands is running to get into this ruck contest. And it is still just a 3-point margin. Freo did lead by 12 points after Hazelby gold at the 3-minute mark. Danger zone. Carr running through. Sandlands does well. There's Josh Carr. Hacks it back. Pavlich! Last ball bounced. Umpire Allen said no. And Matthew Pavlich has had a couple of chances. We'll get a good look at it here.
Playing in front, it's just important for a forward like that. Quick kick. Josh Carr came screaming through that ruck duel, trying to read the footing by himself. Like the draw football came out to him. You've just got to get it quickly in. The forward's in front. Matthew Pavlich did exactly that.
He's kicked two behinds. From 30 metres out, directly in front. Goal opponent does not move. Freo kick their fifth.
I'm not sure. I mean, did Darren Glass have a case there? Did it bubble out? Hard to tell from that angle before, but regardless, it's what he said, Peter. He was standing in front, so that's where you're going to get the bulk of it. Good little gift from Sandilands, man that height. Let's just take a look.
He's taking the football fine about bouncing out. That's fine.
Oh, you've never played down back. You bubbled that.
Down back, maybe once, maybe twice.
Matthew Pavlich with his first. The Dockers sneaking out now to a 9-point lead with just over 9 minutes remaining in the first half.
Got to be worrying signs for West Coast when they're doing a lot of work going forward. Nothing offering their forward line. Fremantles are starting to stand up.
Sandilands looking for another handball low to the ground. That's a slippy little give from Sampy, who's looking for Judd. Cook loves the contest in tight, in close. Hazelby slips it out. Only as far low as Peter Barrett, the captain of the Dockers. Wonderful vision. Sandilands is running on here. Carr spots him, and the big light tower takes the mark inside 50. He's got to get it under Webster. He doesn't. He's going to. Well, is he? Is it designated kicker Josh Carr making out he doesn't want it? Deep down, I know he does.
Let's have a shot, big fella.
Going to have a ping. How will he go, Tim?
If he kicks at 50, that's a long way for Aaron Sandlands.
Here he comes. Right on the 50. He's not going to score. And you've read it beautifully, Tim, because that's out of bounds. He kicked at 47.
I reckon throughout his career, combined total distance and kicks wouldn't have added up to 50 metres. He's very much the short kick player. Likes the handball. Here's Tiffany Cherry.
Josh Carr actually liked to be out there. He went up for a marking contest, blood streaming down the left side of his head, then obviously wiped it off and cleaned him up.
Now he's in range. Sandlands, Carr, interesting give. Does it travel the required distance? It does. And Quinton Lynch in the last line. Now they're breaking for him out wide. Fletcher doesn't mark but should give on the up to Wapunda. Hunter provides the lead further on centre wing. Good mark. Got one across the shoulder as well. Back to Chad Fletcher. Possession 14. Wembley, does he mark it? He does. First touch of the game for Andrew Wembley at the 18.5-minute mark. Hats off Stephen Dodd. Inside 50. Troy Cook. Taken. Hits hard by Hanson and he stayed up. Cook. He's as tough as teeth. Parker. Interesting give. Cook again. Looks up. Links up. With Shammer. Webster. Good catch. Good mark. On centre wing. Fremantle got their tails up. They lead by 9 points. Here's the long lead from Pavlich. Too quick, too agile. On the lead again. Here he goes. Medhurst, he dropped it. Put it down. Chick wants the boundary line. Medhurst bounced up. Walker. Webster. Taken high. Did he get one high? The left arm. No, according to umpire Allen. And we'll have a ball up 60 metres out. The game has certainly gone up a level approaching time on second quarter.
Just the difference you can see. You go forward, West Coast, again, no dominant forward. Fremantle go forward, there it is, big Pav, who could be or is going to be the difference.
Umpire letting it go here. Chris Judd. Wonderful kick on the diagonal to Kerr. A very popular diagonal Kerr at the minute. After his altercation with Des Hedman. Cousins, don't know what he's done wrong. It's Ben Cousins, I suppose. It's not a bad kick. Hunter couldn't take it. Parker. Oh, good hands, Pollard. They work it out well. Woods gave it over to Dodd. He's in a couple of minds and then gives it to Sandilands. Oh, it's all falling for the Dockers here. Somehow it ends up with Hazelby. He breaks through the middle of the ground and then kicks it long. Beautiful kick. Medhurst. Got it. Great kick from Hazelby. Medhurst will go back. Kicked into the space so Medhurst can run onto it. And good play by the defence. We go back to Pollack, Parker, Woods. They're all involved. Good confident hands. And there's that kick. Again, Daniel Chick. Not much you can do if Medhurst gets a run at it. Megastar has missed. He's hit the post again. It's twice. He's hit the same post. He's not consistent.
Just going very, very slowly up to the mark. He's only stepping his way through it. He's a better kick than Matty does. He needs to go back with confidence and give himself plenty of room. Good coaching though. Getting Chick right back is a bonus because really he's uncomfortable playing a full back line.
Paul Medhurst, those kicks are sort of almost float. They stay up a long time. He's sort of, almost like he just wants to make the distance, doesn't want to kick it through.
Then needs to get the driver.
Braun under pressure. Called to play on. Size will favour Freo, Dodd and numbers. There's Headland. Hunter. Headland just shovels it out. Dodd. Numbers now favour West Coast. Great tackle. The one-arm pin by Farmer on Selwood. Ball spins out towards Cook. Little evasion. Carr, 65 out. Loads up. Medhurst. Chick. Medhurst. A little bit of brilliance. Paul. A little bit of brilliance across the face.
We get Hazelby front and square there. Hazelby read the contest. Stayed right in front of him. The call was there. I know he copped a lot of flack last week right at the end of the game against St Kilda for not using Headland. It's a similar position, front and square.
I'm not buying into that.
Very harsh, I thought, but harsh but fair.
This is Fletcher. Butler. In trouble. Good. And the crowd tell the story. And they're not listening to Sam Butler. Dodd to Carr, Matthew Carr from 51 metres. Has a ping, has a shot, has a goal. Matthew Carr, he's got one. And the Dockers getting a real edge just before half-time.
Stephen Dodd, he's the boys. 7 positions, done a fabulous job on Andrew Embley. And when you look at Andrew Embley's stat of 1 and none, you know you've had a fair day out. Now he's even going to do some work on the midfield, tackling, handling off. Stephen Dodd's on fire.
Kicks. The first goal for Matthew Carr has been moving ominously on a couple of occasions outside 50. Hazelby stood up to Bell, steps back inside, left foot, great vision, and there's a few holes starting to appear. Here's Headland. He should not have any trouble with the distance, Des Headland. Sandlands comes off. He's been very good in the ruck. Farmer's gone to ground. Cousins is in that area. Nothing doing there. Now Des Headland can strike this. And this would be a very handy lead. Here's Headland. Leans back. Goal on play. Sees it sail over his Headland. Dockers have broken away.
Interesting move. Sandlands now comes off. He has been fantastic. And it's the old trade once again. Saw it in 2004. Sandlands straight to Hazelby. Hazelby pumps it forward. And once again, that's just jumping up. And if Headland gets his tails up and starts kicking goal like that, you'd have to say, look out West Coast.
The chant is up. The Dockers 22-point lead now. 5-goal second term. And some real concern for the Eagles box. Crowd involved. And they're away again. Cook just got boot to ball quickly. Hazelby had run on. Over to Headland, who just kicked the goal. Short pass. Cutting out Webster, the gut, cutting across and taking a good mark was Embley. The Dockers have 3 minutes to continue this momentum. The Eagles just looking to stem the tide now before half-time. Kerr, right up against the boundary.
Just trying to get Andrew Embley in the game and put Adam Hunter up forward. Brought Embley further down into the bench.
Long ball from Kerr. Big packed form. Staker was there over the back. All Dockers numbers. Matthew Carr stayed down. Short pass back through the middle. Heath Black. Goes short to Bell and does so. Thought about going and now goes to Longmuir in the middle. Hard running from Josh Carr. Longmuir hasn't spotted him yet, now he has.
West Coast's got to pick up on this. Every time Fremantle have gone forward, they've taken the football sideways first.
Pavlich again. It's just, he's got too big an engine for Glass here. He's a terrific player, Glass, we know that. 5 marks. Maybe they're just prepared to give Pavlich a mark on the wing. Back through the middle. She almost came undone as Cox arrived late. But again, it's Matthew Carr. A lot of numbers back now, the Eagles. Everybody back behind the kicker.
Everyone over the centre mark at the moment.
Congested forward line. Hazelby went for the big lead. Couldn't take it. Eagles now on the rebound. Stampy to Hunter to Judd. Accelerates. What's coming? Judd's in trouble. Oh, he gets free. How does he do it? We don't know. Kerr. No one to kick to. He's got to go back. Just needs to measure it. Oh, yeah, good vision. Wonderful vision. Cox 60 metres out. Fletcher on the burst from just outside 50. Kicks towards goal. Slides up the side for a behind. That would have been a very handy goal for the West Coast Eagles.
Huge work there from the West Coast Eagles. They had nothing on at all. Cox, Hunter, just all streamed out of that back 50. It was a huge effort just to get up there and make themselves available.
Margin 21 points. I can feel those Fremantle Dockers standing ovation coming as they leave the ground at half-time. Hand on the shoulder, free kick. Does it pay advantage? Yes. And look who's on his own again. Headland, middle of the ground. He can keep going, does he? Was a bounce. That's centre half forward. Looks up. Medhurst, chip caught behind, then got in front, does well. Hanson, good hand on the footy. Wapunda, they worked it out nicely, West Coast. They go forward, they've still got time. Here's Embley. He's gone down, back to find the footy. Sampy set him a task. Walker. Cook. Sold Sampy. Longmuir, he might just want that boundary line.
Oh, the ball.
And he's holding the ball. 25 seconds for West Coast. 21 points. Fremantle doing okay in the free kick count, 9-4. You've got to get it on. You've got to get it on quick. Cook under pressure. Now Cox, they're going to have to go. 10 seconds to go. I need a mark inside 50. This is it. Last roll of the dice. Fremantle was 5.
A standing ovation for 2 reasons, Tim. Oh, look, McFarlane.
Have a look at the fan.
Here we go. Oh, Luke McFarlane right on half-time. Oh, it's magnificent stuff, isn't it? The Dockers, with a 5-goal second term, will celebrate as Luke McFarlane does. I know that's a big call mark of the year, but gee, Willow,
that's far.
No, that's way ahead.
So far.
No, it's going to be very, very hard to beat, Tim. That is a super mark.
He's threatened to do it all the time.
What a mark by Luke McFarlane, but what a great first half by the Dockers. We'll take a break. They've got a little comfortable lead here. They lead by 21 points at half-time from Subiaco.
At last, Monday nights are back to normal.
I reckon you sat here, Mike, last year and argued the reverse 6 or 7 times.
The boundary umpire chickens out, and it is just a terribly wrong decision.
Join 3 of the AFL's most respected analysts on the game's most compelling show. On the Couch, every Monday, live and exclusive from 8:30 Eastern.
Feeling the squeeze? Harvey Norman takes the pressure off with 48 months interest-free on now. Move up to glorious high-definition plasma with this amazing Panasonic deal. A huge 42-inch high-definition plasma panel, complete with bonus 5-year warranty and bonus high-definition set-top box. All for just $5,499. That's unbeatable value and only at Harvey Norman. Why wait? Buy now and start living today with 48 incredible months interest-free. Now that's a deal worthy of your interest. Good one, Harvey. Don't miss out.
How would you like to see your favourite team play here at Subiaco Oval in Perth? Virgin Blue will fly you and a friend. You'll have waterfront accommodation at the Seagull Residence East Perth. Thrifty car rental for 7 days to explore Perth and the beautiful Margaret River region. And a luxurious ocean view villa at Key West Resort Bunker Bay, arguably one of WA's best beaches. Plus, enjoy lunch at the famous Fas Felix Winery and Restaurant. Simply SMS your name plus your favourite AFL team for your chance to win.
Henneman's the target. Flies from the side and takes a ripper. Top mark, Aaron Henneman.
Clean up at Bunnings Warehouse with the lowest prices every day. Catalogue out now. Click 4-way power board with dust cover, just $8.50. GMC electric hedge trimmer, a low $39.99. Aluminium work platform, only $59. 2 kilo first aid lawn repair kit, a low $9.95. Parfix all-purpose silicone, just $4.98. If you happen to find a cheaper price on a stocked item, we'll beat it by 10%.
Bunnings Warehouse.
Lowest prices are just the beginning.
Music, right now, we're having it out. Let's go. Come on, come on.
Make sure you neuter your pets.
Given a relationship, you argue so much, that's how you remember where you work. Didn't we argue here once?
Oh my God, my eyes! Oh, no!
Play the fight riff, play it!
Sorry to pick on you guys.
Thanks, bye, Daddy!
First of all, you get your butt! Never seen anything like this, folks.
Maybe I like to beat my wife.
Samuel!
And that's why it's called The Punchline. The Comedy Channel. Totally and utterly.
Wednesday on AFL Love Match, how is host Rebecca Wilson going to control these AFL greats as Doug Hawkins and Robert DiPiadomenico go head-to-head?
Who won the 2004 AFL Grand Final? The Dippers.
The Lions. AFL Love Match, a real test of teamwork. Wednesday on Fox Footy Channel.
Halftime here at the Western Derby at Subiaco, and a very good second quarter by the Fremantle Dockers. They now lead by 21 points, 7-6 to 3-9. 7 individual goal kickers. Chris Connolly will be very pleased to see that. And for the Eagles, Judd, Lynch and Graham have scored goals. It's been a terrific performance by the Dockers. And certainly, Peter, if we look at the Dockers, getting those 7 individual goal kickers, just been a real good team performance, and it's building from down back, isn't it?
This certainly has. They have been fantastic in their back half. But their midfield is also getting on top. When Hazelby starts firing in the Western Derby, he's very, very hard to stop.
The duel between Chick and Medhurst has been a terrific one to watch, because Chick, when it's body on body, is too good, but Medhurst looks very dangerous when he's out on the lead. He looks like he could kick 5 or 6 here.
Well, Connolly's done this very well. He's just made sure that he's taken Chick right back. He's not confident on the last line of defence. He likes to be further up the ground, and it's just playing into Fremantle's hands.
Yeah, he's hit the post twice, Medhurst. It could have been 3 goals. He's got the 1. But you mentioned Hazelby really did get on top in that second term, and Pavlich, a wonderful knock over to Farmer, and some quick hands, and everybody involved.
And when you just look at the midfield at the moment, for Fremantle, they are starting to get more possession. Sandlands has been fantastic coming out of the middle of the ruck knocks, just getting his hand on it. It's just too tall and too big.
Hazelby getting involved there. Not sure whether he got the call, Ben Cousins. It looked as though there was no Eagles player there. But Sandilands, when he came on, had a big influence. And the Carr brothers, or the Carr yard, going beautifully.
Yeah, the two brothers really are enjoying playing with themselves. And, of course, this big man, Pavlich, he has been the difference. He is the pivotal forward on the ground.
There is Matthew Carr. Yes, Pavlich able to run, to get to the wing, to take some marks. And, gee, there was a period of 5 minutes here where the Dockers are right on top.
Oh, look, it's unbelievable. And, look, we talked about Pavlich. The problem West Coast have got is no one is going to be able to go with him all the way through this game. And we've seen Glass trying hard, but he's just not going to be able to keep it. Des Headland, he is just getting better.
And just has that uncanny ability to get free. And when it was pretty hot, him and Kerr were going hard at it physically. Then all of a sudden, Desi pops up with a couple of kicks and scores that last goal.
Yeah, Des comes backwards out of the pack and just goes sideways, and there he is, finds space every time. He's a very clever footballer.
And Luke McFarlane takes a terrific mark right on half-time, which I'm sure we'll see many, many times over the next 7 days or right throughout the year. We'll take another break. We've looked at the Dockers. We'll come back and have a look at the Eagles after this.
Sunday, the Bulldogs and Tigers get it on at the Dog. Both clubs have a new lease of life this season, and despite the Doggies holding home advantage, this one is expected to go right down to the wire. Join football's #1 commentary team as they bring you every second live and exclusive with full Fox Footy acting capacity. Your Sunday lineup kicks off at 2 with the Bulldogs Tigers live, followed by Crows Power, the Winners Weekend Wrap at 7:30, then Bombers Hawks.
Feeling the squeeze? Harvey Norman takes the pressure off with 48 months interest-free on Now. Yes, today's trends, tomorrow's technology. It's all yours now on 48 months interest-free at Harvey Norman. Lounges, dining, bedding, bedroom suites, everything electrical from big screens to coffee machines. All that's hot in digital cameras and desktops, phones and laptops, and so much more. Don't wait. Go Harvey Norman and start living now with 48 incredible months interest-free. Now that's a rate worth your interest. Good one, Harvey. Don't miss out.
Whatever happened to the real Australia? The Australia where the only high-rise on the beach was temporary. Where it was harder to find a noisy spot than a quiet one. Where the only things colouring the water were fish. Well, I got news for you. The real Australia is still here. Come and see the real thing. Come and see the real thing. Come and see.
Tight angle, enormous pressure towards the goal square. Stafford! Off to Manchester United after this.
Good night.
When it comes to sport, competing, I'm as confident as they come.
In the fight of his life.
It's going to be the highest mountain that I've got to climb. He's my Everest.
A chance to reclaim the world title from the Danish hitman Mikkel Kessler.
I'm just getting better and better.
Witness from a ringside seat, Mundine v. Kessler for the WBA Super Middleweight World title. Wednesday, May 11 at the Sydney Entertainment Centre. Call 136 100 to book now or visit Ticketmaster7.com.
Last week on The Gospel,
Who would be the most likely bloke you punch on with at your club? I'd have to say Nick Holland.
Had a fight at training with the great Dermot Burton.
Probably until Heath Black left.
Oh, that's right, he dropped you.
Did you say he was an oxygen thief?
You can't afford to miss The Gospel. Friday on Fox Footy Channel.
Well, they're dancing at half-time, the young kids in the Oz kick, and Peter, I think the Dockers are dancing, but let's talk about the Eagles. Only 3 goals in that first half. The scores were level at quarter time, but unfortunately they've got a forward line that's not functioning at the moment.
Yeah, it's pretty disappointing when your key forwards or your forward groups only shared about 12 possessions for the whole game, and that would have to be a worrying sign. It's an SOS for John Worsfold. Any chance we could find a forward line?
McFarlane on Hansen, we expected that to be a tougher contract for Hansen this week, and we've had Kerr involved, and this is a wonderful piece of, I guess, balance and keeping his feet before he gave off to Hansen. The midfield's still getting plenty of the ball.
Yeah, look, it's even Stevens when it comes to the midfields on both sides. You know, they're all around 50 possessions, just their leading 4 or 5 possession getters. So that's an even stat. They're just moving into the forward line, again, only 22, 24, roughly like that, and they've just got nothing in there, and the back line of Fremantle just keeps on pumping it out.
We saw Lynch take a mark inside forward 50. This is Braun bringing it forward, and young Jamie Graham in for his first game doing likewise. At that stage, it looked as though that was going to be the difference for the Eagles, the ability to take that strong mark up forward.
Yeah, lovely to move out there and take a great mark and kick his first kick results in a goal. So great for Jamie Graham, but of course, getting that second goal and that second touch is going to be very hard.
The Dockers seem to almost... accept that Fletcher and Judd are going to get plenty of the ball at 15 and 13 disposals respectively.
Yeah, again, Fletcher, like Headland, finds the space. He gets out, but Judd, he is just a master. He walks into the game, he just walks into a pack, takes the football, and with strength, just always manages to shake off the opposition.
It's great to watch him in full flight. As we talk about the match stats of the game, and with the Dockers leading by 21 points, from the point of view, there's not a lot of difference in the match stats. I mean, inside 50s and clearances, all pretty much similar.
Yeah, it just seemed to be heavily weighted, I thought, for the second quarter. Fremantle just came into that game beautifully. Sandilands, as I said before, getting it down, giving his midfielders first opportunity with the ball.
Uncontested possessions just slightly ahead, and contested possessions just slightly in the Dockers' favour.
I think marks is the telling component here. Is Fremantle are finding the space, they're taking the marks overhead when West Coast basically keeps spilling it.
We'll take another break here from Subiaco. It's the Dockers leading by 21 points in Derby number 21. I don't know if there's something in that. Maybe there is.
Can't catch every game? Then watch The Winners.
We'll recap everything you need to know about every game.
Every Sunday night from 7:30. Get all the highlights, stats and post-match reaction from every game with this week's host, Clinton Dreyfus.
It's footy's ultimate wrap every Sunday.
The Winners, Sunday at 7:30 local on Fox Footy Channel.
Clean up at Bunnings Warehouse with the lowest prices every day. Catalogue out now. Pack of 4 energy-saving globes, only $9.98. GMC electric line trimmer, just $19.93. Heavy-duty chrome shelving unit, alone $99. Massport Stinger mower, just $329. Bostik 1 litre sugar soap concentrate, only $2.24. If you happen to find a cheaper price on a stocked item, we'll beat it by 10%. Lowest prices are just the beginning.
Whatever happened to the real Australia? The Australia where the only high-rise on the beach was temporary. Where it was harder to find a noisy spot than a quiet one. Where the only things colouring the water were fish. Well, I got news for you. The real Australia is still here. Come and see the real thing. Come and see the real thing. Come and see.
Franklin emerging from the gloom. Running left foot shot at goal. Les Franklin, superstar.
The 2005 Astra Awards are coming. Vote now for your favourite new presenter. SMS the code of your vote to this number or go to astraawards.com. The nominees are Matt Young, Bill Granger, Louis, Voting closes April 14. It's your choice.
The assassin was ruthless. The animal unleashed. But this game is not over. Monday, May 2nd, the battle for the World Heavyweight Championship rages on. Triple H, Batista 2, The Backlash begins. Main Event presents WWE Backlash. Live May 2nd, 10 a.m. Call to book now. Foxtel Digital Press Box Office from April 30.
McFarlane with the keys to the Toyota Mark of the Year in his hands, and a long way to go, but it's a deserved contender at this stage in round 3. What a screamer. Half-time, it's a 21-point margin, single goal kickers for everybody, and the Carr brothers with 14 disposals each, and Fletcher and Judd with 30 between them. Luke McFarlane's been threatening for a long time to win the Toyota Mark of the Year, and he's, well, it was fantastic, wasn't it?
Have a quick look at that, boy. Is he not the 5th Beatle?
Oh, very good. I like that. But it's been a very interesting contest down back, and the Dockers' defence would feel pretty happy here at half-time. They've kept the Eagles to 3-9. We'll just check on the scores from the Gabba between the Lions and the Swans. We're going to show you that score once again. If you don't want to know, you can look away now. Dockers getting set for the second half, as is Tiffany Cherry down on the boundary.
Absolutely they are. The Dockers are certainly buoyed by that mark from Luke McFarlane. They were light on their toes when they went down into the rooms, and the message coming from the rooms at half-time was to continue to smother the West Coast midfield and to keep the intensity up. That's what Chris Connolly is telling his boys. Meanwhile, the Eagles, well, pretty sombre down there, and their skipper Ben Cousins not looking too well at all, but he will continue to play.
Thanks, Tiff. Peter, from a coach's perspective, what are you looking at here from the Eagles? What do they have to do to change?
Oh, look, again, I think the midfield tussle's been fine and they're getting enough football. They've just got to get something out of their forward line, so they're going to have to probably go one out, empty their forward line and just get a one-on-one contest and run to the fore of the ball.
There is Cousins, there's Matera, Staker, Hunter and Butler. Well, the Ers going to the bench.
Just be interested to see how Fremantle travel in this second half. Having been to Launceston, 5.5-hour flight, it was a direct flight. Everyone says that any time you travel to Perth and go back, teams struggle. I wonder how they'll react in the second half.
Well, Tim, if we go from anything we've seen so far, and as Tiffany said, they are very light on their feet, very buoyant, and I don't think they're going to have a problem whatsoever.
Medhurst has been good. That's been great to watch. Great contest, yep. There's been a clean out in front of him. He starts deep on the line and basically has 40 metres to run into. Should struggle with that.
The opposite end, very tall in the goal square for the Eagles. And then the shorter players lining up outside their forward 50, they being Sampi, Cousins and Kerr.
And that may work. See, they're just bombing up to those two big boys, and if they can visit a contest and bring it to the ground, you just expect those fleet of midgets to get to that fall.
Second half underway in the Western Derby. Cox to do battle with Sandilands. Up goes Cox and heads it down straight towards Fletcher. Judd read it off of him, kicking inside the forward 50. There are the big men going back with courage and picking up from the first half with a mark, and then the kick is McFarlane. Sandilands provides a target. Good running by the big man. Short pass to Carr. Pavlich just went back and then forward. Poor kick from Carr, put him under pressure. Jones on Pavlich now. Holding the ball.
Pull it back in. Can't do that. That's been the call. The ball spilled out, did the right thing, got it out, but pulled it back in. He's been penalised.
Matthew Carr. There's a little bit of space for the forwards to move into. Ball play on. High ball. Longmuir the target. Went straight through the breadbasket, but recovers quickly. Needs a good bounce. Doesn't get it. Jones will clear for the Eagles, and they've got some space here with Selwood.
Selwood's away, but he looks up and sees a bank of Dockers. Now Hansen will be the target. McFarlane spoils again. And he's been penalised for whacking the arm or the hand on the shoulder. And Rick McFarlane said, "What's that for?" He's asked it again. He said, "Did you not hear me the first time?"
It shows if you're forward, just stay in front, you'll get a kick.
Great give from Hazelby. Flat-footed Webster. Well, Punda has taken the mark. Margin 21 points, 90 seconds gone. The crowd 41,800. We talked about a sellout all week, but gee, this is certainly not the biggest Derby crowd. That was back in 2003, round 22, so still plenty of spare seats here. Here's Glass. Chips down the line. Fletcher, been good. Possession 17. Embley. This will test him. He'll have to kick from 52, 53 metres. And Andrew Embley starting to get in the game, but a lot of his possessions, of course, in the back up.
He's having to work very hard for it too, Tim. He's come right across the ground there, and Graham Pollock was with him all the way. Just had that 1 or 2 metre break. That's all the forward needs. It's a nice kick. It's not beyond him.
He's kicked 6 goals so far this season. Be one of the most prominent goal kickers in the comp, Andrew Embley. And they need this, West Coast. Just 3-9 on the board so far. From just outside 50. Gives it everything he's got. Sandlin stands the line and clears him. That's no mean feat. That is a goal!
Well, West Coast need Andrew Embley to continue to give them possession in that area. He just really worked hard for that football and gave West Coast a very, very needed goal. So it's just working now off the wing, and Pollock having come right to the ground to go with him.
First blood in the second half to the West Coast Eagles, and Andrew Embley could well be the man that sparks their revival. Cox looking in the Embley direction. Recovers his own tap. Fletcher, some sort of handball. Going through Cousins. It spills for Nikoski. Breaks free from the contest. Long and low. Lynch. Good work at the body. Just couldn't quite take it. Crumbing Kerr. Wrapped up by Carr and Pollock. It's play on. It comes out to Matthew Carr. Parker. Low ball, not sure about the decision. Fletcher back to Judd. The All-Australians combined. Judd breaks free. Spots. Hansen gets it. Gets a high. It's a free kick to Hansen. It'll come back against McFarlane. Real strong. Hansen in that area there. McFarlane again. Just 2 or 3 metres off. And that's what they weren't doing in the second quarter. Fremantle weren't getting any space at all. Judge fantastic. How he continues to break those tackles. Stands up, strong on his feet. Great delivery. Ashley Hansen was terrific last week with 4 goals against the Cats. Prior to that, he'd only kicked 1 in his short career. From right on 50, be 2 in a row for the Eagles, but it's off to the right. It's just a behind. Not the finish that the West Coast hierarchy were looking for.
Stephen Dodd gone back to Andrew Embley. Just to continue their relationship.
He has to go off Hansen. He's got the bloodied nose from that contact, which certainly makes the contact interesting. His work rate's been outstanding, Hansen. The delivery to him in that first half wasn't great. He hasn't taken a mark yet. Last week he took 11.
They're very difficult when you're having to leave right up past the wing to get a possession as a centre-half forward. Hansen maybe needs to start at full forward and start receiving it around centre-half.
So the Eagles are pressing. Interesting for Black, ball to himself. Got a nice little block too from Josh Carr. Polak was always in best position. Lynch lost the fight of the footy. Now Sandlands is running hard down centre wing. Does he make it a 50-50 contest, Polak? He decides to go longer. It was a good option because Carr found space. Matthew Carr has been outstanding, Matthew Carr. 16 disposals, off one step. Pavlik's too far out to score. He loves to play on. He now swings around. There is a Hazelby. Longmuir was also there. Ball spills glass. Wrapped up by a dog. Another ball up. Didn't quite work that out. Longmuir was certainly on that lead. And Hazelby, he didn't quite work that out. They could have had a mark inside 50 and a shot on goal. Instead, they've got a ball up.
Very confident overhead, Hazelby, on the marking contest. Sometimes, because of that confidence, he does tend to put his bigger players off.
Interesting, that's a throw from Selwood. Chutton was away off to the races and he probably could have run all the way. Parker was bearing down from afar, but in the end that was a pretty ordinary disposal from Selwood.
Very hard to stop though. The big albatross arms came out.
Peter Bell's found space, he's going to have to go back. Peter Bell not happy. The umpire said he hadn't set the mark. Sandilands, again we've seen that this will test him. I wonder if that's a code. There's a little swing, he just chips it up. 9-9 outside 50, they all fly, no mark. Embley, Hunter and Cox. They work it to the boundary line. Here's the skipper, Ben Cousins.
Nowhere to go.
Outside his defensive 50. Now numbers favour Freo if they can keep this contest alive. McFarlane, good gather. Polak, quick give. Headland goes to fend off and then kicks down the line. Does it stay in? No, out of bounds on the foot.
Three against one, Quinton Lynch did a pretty good job, really.
He did, didn't he?
Yep.
Just gave a contest. Yep. Kept the pressure on. As Judd just squares it to Cox, who finds Stampy, who can take it and go. Doesn't want to. A line of 4 Eagles across half back, and the man that's played in more derbies than anyone else is Drew Banfield. Through the centre of the ground. Measured the kick towards Lynch. Graham. No one inside the 450 for the Eagles. Selwood trying to bust through. Graham goes again. There's a free kick. Thornton underneath all that. And underneath Thornton, Selwood was the first man into the contest. So rewarded for his hard attack on the football.
Well, it is Saturday night. And I guess Lino's up. Because that's how they've picked that. I can't see that free kick.
Adam Selwood. Highly regarded by the match committee here at the Eagles. Back into the side. He's only playing game number 7. His Troy brother playing with the Lions a long way away. He'll have to kick from about 55. It's going to get right to the line. It's going to be close. Graham at the back. And the big man takes a very good mark.
Well, the structure of having the 2 big forwards is now starting to pay dividends. So that'll be a first saute forward.
How easy is this for Jamie Graham? Second kick in AFL football. Second goal. Eagles are coming. The Dockers haven't scored. The Eagles have kicked 2 goals, 1. And the margin now back to 8 points.
2 marks. 2 kicks,
2 goals.
Still yet to put a foot wrong.
He was always going to take that. He was just that far bigger and stronger than anyone else in that contest. Another number 48 starts to make his mark for the West Coast Eagles. The number originally worn by Glenn Jakovic.
Well, Tim, there's no doubt you've had a dictionary for breakfast or a stats book, because I would have picked that.
Now, West Coast going to get centre square infringement. That's 50 metres. That's 50 metres against Dodd. He ran through the mark. And all of a sudden it's starting to unravel for Freo. And Andrew Embley goes to Stephen Dodd. They wouldn't want to cock this up, West Coast, because Dean Cox, who's probably trying to send that message to Andrew Embley, says, just back off. I've got a shot on goal coming.
Settle down a little bit there, Josh Carr.
He's just trying to turn it over. He's just trying to get angry and get him to turn it over.
And he's a master at it.
Yep.
He just wouldn't want to get suckered into that. Cox has been good. They just lost some momentum in the second quarter when Cox was not on the ground, and in the ruck duel, he is just going to have to work so hard for the remainder of this game for West Coast to have any sort of chance.
So a goal here, and the margin's back to 2 points. Glass off the ground. Dean Cox directly in front. Goal! Ordinary kick. Great result. And there's going to be a free kick to Fremantle from the centre square, from the centre bounce. They are going to get a free kick because player was fell off the ball. I think Embley was the infringing player.
Well, they were looking for the free, and they got one.
He's looking for the player who was felled. Andrew Embley has given away a free kick when that ball went through for a goal. They've been penalised. It goes to the ruckman in the middle of the ground. So a free pass, basically, for the Fremantle Dockers. There's something in the game. The margin is just 2 points.
The Sandilands goes long, and there's another whistle, and it's a free kick to the Dockers on, well, just outside the centre square. This time going to Byron Shammer.
Keats Fletcher, again, just getting in there. Plenty of niggle from the Fremantle players. And West Coast players reacting to some really silly stuff.
No need to, because they've got the momentum. They've kicked the 3 goals in this third term as Headland breaks off.
No, it's going to go back. It's going to go back to Sandlands again, I think.
Oh, he's having a night out. They just keep giving him free kicks. He doesn't know why.
It's pandemonium. Farmer's going to snap a goal.
Oh, it's the derby. It's got everything.
Now, the umpires are basically trying to get control.
I've never seen so many traffic cops in my life. Everyone's out there pointing which way.
It's 50 metres. It is a 50-metre penalty against West Coast for that infringement.
So now it goes back to the original kicker being Sanders.
Correct.
Well done, Tim.
Otherwise, it would have been a 35-metre penalty, basically. So they have to make it to the extreme, and it is a 50-metre penalty. And Aaron Sandlands will have a shot on goal from 40 metres out.
2 minutes ago, his direct opponent, Cox, did likewise from a 50-metre penalty. Sandlands must kick this to even up the ledger. This is an important kick. Doesn't kick many goals. He's only kicked 8 in his career. No! A lot of confusion reigning, but in the end, the Dockers get their first goal for the third term. They steady a little bit. I'm just a bit confused, Peter, are you?
Especially when you are trying to give high fives to Aaron Sandilands, you just need to be doing a Luke McFarlane to just touch the hands. Well, amazing piece of football in that short period. Very confusing.
We got there eventually. A goal to Aaron Sandlands. A free kick, then 50 metres, and then he slotted the goal nicely. Back swats it down, they're away again. Josh Carr, right foot kick, on the lead is Pavlich. Arm out, taken to ground. Does he get a free kick? He gets legs.
Just going back to that centre, they had a chat of all the 4 players of the Fremantle Dockers, beautifully set up by Sandilands. Carr to run into space, wonderful communication.
Pavlich swings it around with an ordinary kick off the boot. West Coast have numbers. There's Cox. Jones working hard. Jones fumble. Shane Parker. He's getting involved. When Shane Parker starts to get involved in this type of stuff, you know it's on.
Well, I've never seen Shane Parker's definitely taken some angry pills, because we don't see that too much. Jones did it well too. He worked so hard just to drop that.
Free kick, advantage paid. Here's Cousins trying to get into the game. Took a knock early to centre halfward. Sante doesn't take it. Strong tackle. Ball spills. Headland's been good. They're away again. Here's Jeff Farmer. Chips down the line. He's done some good things tonight. Farmer hasn't seen a lot of it, but what he's done has been excellent. Josh Carr, too far out the score, goes for the big spiral. Will be in best position, doesn't take the mark. He
thought he had it. He knows he almost had it, but he didn't quite get it. Wales 9 points.
Medhurst, Origin coming up for a break. Sean McManus coming on for a run.
Cousins gets the kick in from where Punda, and he's a little bit of space, but waiting for his best option. He decides that it's Drew Banfield. God, in trouble. Cousins did it well. Cook was arriving, and Cousins had to take a pretty hot mark with the one hand as he goes wider, looking for Daniel Kerr. He's away from Walker, round the body. Fletcher, the running player for him. Longmuir arrives. Fletcher keeps his feet. Falls for Jones, but he fumbles again. Judd does it. Brilliant. Below the knees. Accelerates. Opens up Butler. Butler can go all the way. Steadies. Gets around onto his right boot from 51 metres. It slides off the side. The contest. Going back. Emley also going back. Polak Sambi wrapped him up. It's still alive. And another rush behind for the West Coast Eagles. Let's go down to Tiffany Cherry on the boundary.
Paul Medhurst took himself off. He was cramping. He's now getting some work done on his calves.
Thanks, Tiff. Margin back to 8 points, and we're halfway through this third term. The margin at half-time was 21 to the Dockers. The first 3 goals going to the Eagles, and the game finding another level of intensity.
West Coast again looking for a bit of a change up in their forward line. Actually, Hanson and Matera waiting to come on.
Parker, the man who receives, chipping over the top. Walker. Not sure where to go. Parker helps him out by creating an option. And then keeping it low, hugging the boundary to Longmuir. Spills over the back, Shammer. Clever give to Bell. He's away. Not a good kick, but it's still to the top of the square. It's still alive for the Dockers. Going back where Punda. He should clear. He doesn't usually panic. It's a high ball, but he's got some numbers. Cox had to beat a couple, and they're away, the Eagles.
Pays the advantage. Nikoski has Jones on his own in space. Jamie Graham's the next lead. That's the direction the kick goes. Pushing the back. Advantage paid. Was it? No. Went away by Thorpe. Jones not happy. We'll come back to Jamie Graham. This will set him a task. 2 kicks, 2 goals. So that could be good to kick one from here. Lynch is the only man back in the goal square. Jamie Graham doesn't look a confident young man.
Come on, kick it.
He decides to just chip it up. 2 on 2. Lynch trying to wrestle it away. Polak, quick kick. Dodd. And that is the 7th rushed behind. Apart from Jamie Graham's 2 goals, that is the 2nd leading scorer for West Coast. 6-12, 8-7.
Again, it's Josh Carr. Again, a little bit of pressure. Well, the slap out came from Graham, but it goes to Blackman. Free kick already coming back to Peter Bell, who paid the mark. Umpire Brett Allen. Walker now. Through the middle to Hazelbeat. Dockers by 7. There's a whistle off the play again. It's the blood roll. Jones coming from the ground quickly, and the man who came off the ground earlier on with the blood roll, Ashley Hanson, will replace him. There's the cut on the bridge of Brett Jones's nose. Also coming off Cousins, and Matera going to the forward line. Plenty of players now to surround the centre of the ground, and there's just a swarm of players in the centre square. Big pack forming, and Hazelby doesn't want anything to do with it. Just wants to swing it off to Carr. Matthew Carr to Cook.
Webster one out in the forward line with David Wirapunda. A bit of a height advantage there for Webster. If they can get up to him quickly.
Again Carr. It's where it's headed. Webster couldn't take it. Josh Carr front and square. Handballs over to Farmer. And that's a boundary throw-in. Just over 8 minutes remaining in the third term. The Eagles bench looking on. Managed 6 goals for the game so far. There's a push. And another free kick. Hazelby wants Longmuir. He's got the sit. Oh, well done by Lynch. Got back. Webster stolen by Judd. Again. No such thing as a contest. He just walks away from it. Cox, got to get down low quickly. Oh, the big man does really well. That's why he's third in the best and fairest last year. He's very talented. Sampi squares it through the middle to Braun. West Coast running hard here. Open forward line. Graham coming out. McFarlane going back. McFarlane will take the free kick.
Just great courage from McFarlane. Knew there was someone coming, and Jamie Graham stood in his way, earned the free kick. Dean Cox seems to be struggling also on centre wing. He's looking to the bench. Jeff Farmer has a couple of bounces. He looks inside. He approaches 50. He decides to chip up. Pavlich juggles, marks. The team play from Jeff Farmer tonight has been exceptional. He has not played a game like this, team orientated, in 2 years.
That fabulous effort. Talk about team play though. Paul Medhurst came up the ground and could have taken out Farmer's man and Selwood just there. He just could have had another 5 or 6 metres and could have kicked the goal. Medhurst has got to improve in this area and trying to protect his own teammates.
Dean Cox does come off the ground. He's sucking in the deep ones. Ben Cousins just ambles on the ground. Now tucked up on the boundary line, Matthew Pavlich. Taken 7 marks. This will test him. Is he up to it? Oh yes he is! Come on, he says! Goal!
The standout forward continues to give the West Coast Eagles an absolute nightmare. They've had Glass on him. They've tried Jones on him. They've now gone to Adam Hunter. He looked like he was just doing a little bit to it. There's not much you can do about that. And that is an extraordinary finish from that spot on this ground. That's a hard kick.
Wonderful finish from Matthew Pavlich. Becomes the first Docker to kick 2 goals. And get the margin back out to 13. There's another centre square infringement. This time it's going to the Dockers. Umpires have been working overtime in the third term. Longmuir. Again in the Pavlich direction. Up he goes. Almost took a strong mark. Somehow it ends up with Heath Black. Could have given it. Didn't. Now Farmer. Just outside 50. And once he could, now he's a wonderful kick of the footy. 52 metres. He could get home from the Aries.
Well, he's got no tall forwards sitting down. Pavlich slowly making his way at the moment.
He's going to torpedo, which we've seen him do many times. It's not a good one. It didn't pay off. Judd in front.
Fletcher,
I should say, not Judd. You get used to seeing them with the ball so many times together.
There's nothing separating tonight, Matty. No excuses there. 19 disposals of P6. Now Fletcher has to 20. Don't know about the value of the torpedo punt, Peter Wilson.
Oh, he'd have a licence, wouldn't he? Surely. There's some players in the team that have a licence.
Banfield,
go the talk.
Banfield short.
Got a licence to wear lime boots. Very ordinary look. Dermot Brereton is the last one to wear those.
Coloured boots are in now. We've got to live with it.
Black boots are a thing of the past. Here's Nikowski. Fremantle steadied. Matthew Carr trying to get a handle on it. Here's Shammer. He'll enjoy the run. Had a very limited pre-season. That kick's not great. Kerr did well. Got that little whack. Wasn't good. That kick should have been intended for Bell from Shammer. Margin 13 points. We've gone 25 minutes. Terrific game of football. West Coast fighting back strongly. There is Bell. Inside the Carr. In trouble. Good tackle, Sampi. Forced the error. Graham now. Midfield. The pressure. The best tackle in the business. Almost should have been rewarded. Troy took the ball spill. He did get the handball away, Selwood, but took a long time. To half forward. Staker. Hasn't had a great night. Lynch. McCoskey in the middle of the ground. Now he can mount wide. He chooses to go back from where that original kick came. There's Lynch again. Docker's getting numbers back inside defensive 50. Graham again. McManus back with courage. Went at it nicely. It's almost his area, Sean McManus. We talked about that in the preview. The big courageous effort against Wapunda a few years back. And there's a second.
Look, Graham came out, but look, the young kid Graham also just did not take a step backwards. Great football, both players.
Chance here for the Eagles. They're inside their forward 50 and they've got it with Fletcher. Staker didn't take it. Thornton right with him. Polak. Nice give. Releases McManus. Didn't get the bounce. He's looking for. Look out! A flying Matera. Bell. Over to Black. Black's kick is not a good one. Wapunda. Very rarely waste the footy. That's perfect.
Great vision.
Yeah. Kerr. Clear. Judd over the top. Here comes Thornton. Yeah, Judd waited. And good spoil by Scott Thornton. And a little push to say, even though you're a great player, you can't wait for it.
I had Staker on deeper. Look, the kick was there, the opportunity to give it there, but Judd very lazy with football. He's been working overtime the last 10 minutes. But just, you can't wait for a football.
Lynch was there, and so too Cook. McManus going through. Judd got out of trouble. Cousins did likewise. Beautiful pass. That is an outstanding kick from the captain. He may have got the heavy knock. That was a superb left foot pass.
To a contest. Hansen, though, good enough to fight off his direct opponent in McFarlane, because that was exactly where you want your backman, right on your forwards. Great contest.
So Hansen. Yet to kick a goal. He's already had a set shot in this third term. To drag the margin back to just 7 points with just 3 minutes remaining.
They need this West Coast. This is a very important kick.
A tick over 42,000 people here tonight. Looking. Goal to Ashley Hansen. He's got it. And the Eagles get it back to that 7-point game.
I'm just saying, extremely important goal there, because that just could have been the buffer. I mean, knowing the way that Fremantle's bringing their football out of the back half, could have been a rebound and gone straight down the other end. Pivotal moment in this game, that goal. And Hansen now starting 30 metres out from full forward. Great starting spot now, because he can lead up and start taking the grabs around the centre half forward mark.
They have led by 22 points, Fremantle. Kerr took a long time, dealt with. Fletcher, margin back to 7 points. Nikoski, he should be fresh. Inside 50, Polak with courage. No, lost it at the backfield. Matera, it's had a terrible night. Again the body from McManus. He's played deliberate.
Well, they tried to milk that West Coast. That's all three players looking straight at the umpire.
Andrew Embley. And he reduced the margin to just 1 point. He's going the banana from the boundary line. They practice these at training. Off one step. Andrew Embley. Has he kicked the goal? No.
Super work by Sean McManus when we go back to this. That was just great, hard work, and I guess Polak,
he's under some pressure, but in the letter of the law, the way they play it, that's deliberate. Straight towards the boundary line.
He disguised it a little better. Yeah.
Oh. A little bit late. Shammer, not a good kick. Just last year, good decision by the boundary umpire.
Lazy kick,
wasn't one step. So the Eagles pressing in this third term. Still got just under 2 minutes remaining, and the margin is just one kick. Scores were level at quarter time. Could that repeat itself at three-quarter time? Long near over the top. Fletcher did well enough to get hands free and a little give over the top to Nikoski, and he takes it over the line. Chad Fletcher continues to rack up disposals, now at 23, and Chris Connolly and the Dockers. Boss looking on intently. Cox trying to lay it down towards Judd. There he is. Bang, he's away. Wonderful stuff. Braun can go over the top. He's got a couple of eagles to pick from. Hunter and Cousins. Cousins drops it, but it's Bills for him. Short pass back through the middle. Butler. Can the Eagles tie it up before three-quarter time? Sam Butler kicking long. Big contest here over the backwoods with the spoil. Emily was in front. Staker, he's got it. He's lost it. If you're holding the ball, it's play on. The ball spills out the back to Thornton. Away through some traffic. Headland in trouble. Ball chance here now. Cousins, not Cousins, Cox, whip under. Now Selwood near out the shot from 50 metres.
Over time for him.
They just weren't urgent there, were they? West Coast more urgent there.
Just getting a springboard too. In this area, they're now starting to get some forwards and players that are starting to lead up. Everything they weren't doing, West Coast, in the first half.
Something's happening at the end of each quarter. We had scores level at the first, McFarlane taking a screamer at the second, Kinsella would tie it up at the end of the third. Just outside the 50, won't make the distance. Dion Woods making sure that the rush behinds continue. We head up to number 8, and that will be, barring a miracle, the three-quarter time score, and the Dockers coaches agree, and they're heading down for a chat. It's set up another fantastic finish in the Western Derby. The West Coast Eagles won the first 9. Since then it's 6-5 in their favour. There's Josh Carr. Sends it out wide. It's set for another great finish. At three-quarter time, the West Coast Eagles, they've pushed back towards the Dockers in their best quarter so far, kicking 4 goals. We'll take a break. Fremantle leading by 5 points.
At last, Monday nights are back to normal.
I reckon you sat here, Mike, last year and argued the reverse 6 or 7 times.
The boundary umpire chickens out, and it is just a terribly wrong decision.
Join 3 of the AFL's most respected analysts on the game's most compelling show. On the Couch, every Monday, live and exclusive from 8:30 Eastern.
We're here in Melbourne to relive a classic footy moment that has it all.
And who else could give us all this?
Who else but the maestro? Hey, James. Hey, guys. All right, so it's Essendon 131, West Coast 131. 30 minutes and 48 seconds gone.
Umpire doesn't ball up, but it's on.
He's got it.
Hey, maybe Murphy should have kicked it. Not the umpire, I'm bully. Bully hits it at the head.
Wait, the fairy tale's complete. James Hard, you are a yes! Get it hard!
Whatever happened to the real Australia? The Australia where the only high-rise on the beach was temporary. Where it was harder to find a noisy spot than a quiet one. Where the only things colouring the water were fish. Well, I got news for you. The real Australia is still here. Come and see the real thing. Come and see the real thing. Come and see.
And Wells!
Great goal.
What a player! Daniel Wells.
You're gonna die! I've never seen anything like this. His ex is a menace. Dougie just refuses to drink any other bourbon. You know what we're witnessing here tonight? We're witnessing a man staying true to the world's finest bourbon.
He was was a man in charge during one of the AFL's most precarious eras.
2 or 3 clubs might not survive through 87.
Wednesday, on another exclusive Fox Footy feature, Herald Sun chief football writer Mike Sheehan goes one-on-one with former AFL CEO Ross Oakley. In a brand new episode of the award-winning series Open Mike, Sheehan gets the inside word on the attempted merger with Footscray and Oakley's vision for a national competition. Open Mike with Ross Oakley, Wednesday, exclusive to Fox Footy Channel.
Welcome back to Subiaco, and we are set for a grandstand finish. It's a 5-point margin to Fremantle. Pavlich has 2, and Graham has 2 for the West Coast Eagles, and the Carr brothers continuing on with their big night, and Fletcher and Judd leading the list for the Eagles. And the Eagles came back disposals-wise there, Peter, and they've evened things up.
Yeah, and that was a fantastic effort from West Coast, because really Fremantle were all full of running, but they just seemed to look a little tired towards the end. But both sides really have been fantastic, and I would suggest really struggling. It's going to be the battle of the fittest.
Getting close to full time, or perhaps even full time at the northern version of a derby, and that's up at the Gabba. The Lions and the Swans will show you another score from that game. If you don't want to know the score, look away now. All set up for the big last quarter. Let's head down to the boundary once again. Here's Tiffany Cherry.
Well, I can tell you no real injury concerns on either side, just really cramping, as you said before, the intensity. Fremantle had more of the run there, and Chris Connolly did say to them at the halftime break to keep the intensity up for the game. Interestingly, Paul Medhurst spent most of that third quarter break getting his legs rubbed. He did take himself off with cramp, but other than that, there's no problems on both sides.
Thanks, Tiff. And what will Chris Connolly learn from last week? They went down by a point in the game. They should have won against St Kilda. Now they've got another close one on their hands. Momentum in the Eagles' favour going into three-quarter time.
For Fremantle, really, Aaron Sandlands is going to have to be, I think, the player that just gives Fremantle the first opportunity. And that's what they lacked last week, Fremantle. They just didn't get the opportunity to get enough possession. That's where there's going to be won or lost here, is just the centre breaks.
Sandilands will do battle with Dean Cox. And in there, as usual, is Judd and Fletcher, Selwood as well. And for the Dockers, Bell, Hazelby, Carr, big names. 5-point margin. It's been 20 derbies, hasn't been a draw.
Fremantle just going to the very open forward line. Only 3 players down to the forward half.
Set to go. As the rivalry continues here at Subiaco. Umpire Allen bouncing away, and Sandilands just building it forward. Butler gave it up. Carr. What a start this will be. Black trying to get onto his left, trying to get past Fletcher. Kicks it with the right to the goal square. Medhurst almost. Away comes Jones, and on the rebound the Eagles through Nikoski now. Back through the middle to Judd. He goes wider. Benfield up the line, wants Hanson. McFarlane over the top. West Coast needing a crummer. Hansen does it himself. 2 Eagles there, one of them Embley. He breaks free. Through the middle of the ground. Punders up forward. McManus with him. Over the back. Glass. Haven't seen him up forward for a long time. Ball spills back. Good bounce going through. Matthew Carr. Knocked Jamie Graham off his feet. And away go the Dockers now as Bell finds Parker.
He looks up and he might have to come back from where the ball came because it's Andrew Embley. Brett Jones is banked up across half back. Now Peter Bell off a step. Heath Black marks. Headland runs for him. Farmer provides a lead down the line. They sort it out. To the momentum.
Jamie Graham coming
then there's also someone that's invaded the field actually at the far end of the ground as well as Jamie Graham. An Eagles supporter being taken from the ground. That's more important. Jamie Graham coming off the ground, so we'll deal with a couple of issues and then get on with the game. Big bump, massive car. Jamie Graham grabbing the jaw, so we resume normal program. Sandland, good run from Thornton. He just put the hard yards in to receive that footy. Cousins chipped in ahead of Havlich. Yes, the momentum certainly with West Coast leading up to three-quarter time. The margin at one stage in the second term was 22 points. 21 was the official margin at half-time, and the Eagles are doing plenty of the attacking. Can Fremantle find something? It's the trip to Tassie taking its toll. Jones, centre half back. They're breaking out wide. He'll go by hand to Cousins. Hansen has just kept on presenting.
Could go across the ground.
Goes in the Lynch direction and then spoiled by Pollack, and a boundary throw is what the Fremantle defence was looking for. Sherman, Webster, Woods and Longmuir.
Jamie Graham's going straight in.
Yep, heading down the room.
That's not a good sign.
No, his whip punter Cousins has been busy already in this last term. Beautiful measured kick to Selwood, hugging the boundary line, heads to the goal square. Lynch over the back. He's still got it, has he? He can't quite pick it up. Dodd under some real pressure here. Stolen by Hansen. Around the body. He has kicked it. Oh, the goal umpire's not going to move. That will be a goal. And the Eagles have hit the front in the derby. Ashley Hansen, 4 goals last week. None better than that this week. Has put his team in front.
And full credit to the big unit, and Quinton Lynch just got his hand in there, brought a contest and kept battling here. Got his hand in there, made the tackle. Great work from the big fella, and Hansen just pounced on it. And if you don't mind, that's an up and under.
A great goal by Ashley Hansen has put the Eagles in front for the first time since the 21.5-minute mark of the first quarter. And they're going to go forward again. How much left in the tank for Freo? It spills to Sampi. Where has Ashley been? Close. 2 points the margin. 3 points for Ashley Sampi. What can Chris Connolly produce?
The outriding of West Coast. They've got all their players spread beautifully at the moment.
And now it's starting to unravel because Thornton has run out of the square.
And that's great pressure. They've done it very well tonight so far, West Coast, on these kickouts. They've spread out. They've really screened it beautifully. And that's put the pressure on the young man.
So it's in the danger zone again. Since half-time, West Coast, 5 goals, 6. There's the ball up, Sanderland, Judd. They just want to force it through. Interesting. Here's Cox. On the foot, but he bent. Has kicked it out. They've got their heads up there to West Coast. They've kicked away.
Every time he's left the ground, West Coast have lost any sort of momentum. But Judd, Cousins, making sure that they didn't lose that opportunity on a big fella. Well, a turnaround by the West Coast Eagles. They now lead by 8 points. 6 goals to 2 in this second half. The Dockers have to find something now. Bell got it back to McFarlane, but he didn't go far. Only into the arms of Banfield.
Nikoski. Judd. He's been pinned. Holding the ball, he's not happy. Justin Longmuir comes on. West Coast Eagles, dramatic turnaround. 21 points down at half-time. What can Fremantle find in this last quarter? Walker to half-forward. Now Wapunda just float across and take the mark. It's breaking down all over the place for Fremantle at the moment. And Judd starting to get on the footy. So too this man Selwood, Hanson. He has been very good since half-time. He worked hard prior to half-time. Now he's been called to play on. Still being called to play on. He's decided to go back and set it up through Hunter. He could come wider. He can come to the middle of the ground, and Dean Cox has been important. 69 plays 61, and they just keep going forward, West Coast, but they're going forward with patience. They just wait, and they'll chip it up again. Jones inside 50 to Wapunda, who was deep in defence moments ago. Here's Cousins. Ben Cousins took a knock early. What's the skipper got in the bag tonight? Embley, Thornton, a rush behind. Another one. Fremantle just don't look like scoring at the moment.
Yeah, good work by Jones, though. Didn't he just look for that? Just didn't bomb it away. Kicked it to an open space. Had 2 players, Whittapunga and Cousins. Cousins fantastic getting that football.
The Dockers still under extreme pressure because Nikoski, well, he should have taken it, but Whittapunga's there. Whittapunga, Cousins, Judd, all the stars getting involved. A combination of Sampi to Fletcher. Another star. Another goal to the Eagles. Oh, they'll make it tough now. 10-16 to 9-7.
I'd like to see the stat. So far, West Coast have just been superb in protecting that kick out. They've screened beautifully. They've just protected that area and rebound after rebound, giving themselves opportunity. Little things in set plays win games of footy.
The Freo fuel gauge is starting to read empty, and West Coast are all over them. 15 points the margin in the blink of an eye.
Looking at some of their midfield strengths, Josh Carr hasn't been getting a lot of football. Matthew Carr.
Hazelby to half forward. Free kick. It's against Josh Carr. The ball will go back. There's a hold on Hunter.
Been very good, Adam Hunter. Really quiet in Pavlich down in the last 15 minutes of the game.
So too, this young man, huge raps on him. Terrible run of injury. John Worsfold rates him highly. It's a push out. Will go against Hanson. 10.5 minutes gone. Still plenty of time, but Freo just have to find a goal. They just must keep on working. Got to plug some holes because the boat is starting to leak. West Coast, very disciplined since half-time. They're back in the contest. Now they're in control. To half forward. Just held off at Pavlich. Did well though. Spoilt Nikoski. Banfield underneath it. Umpire says play on. Hazelby has a crack at it. Strong tackle. Ball spills. Numbers. Simply numbers. And Judd was the man outside to take it to half forward. Glass came one way. Cousins the other. The nimble-footed Darren Glass is not the best kick in the business, but that was a beauty! And it was off the left, and Hanson can go back from outside 50. And if he slots this, it's starting to look grim, let me tell you. Ashley Hanson, his second half has been simply superb.
Darren Glass, is he going to do UBD a roadmap? Because going down the forward line has just given that a little bit of something. And a great dish off. And once again, Hanson just continues to work. McFarlane, as Tim has you've spoken about, just seems to have lost a little bit of go. It was all over him. But Hanson just starting to come into it.
From 55. Has cleared the line. 3 goals, 21 points the margin in Derby 21.
Amazing turnaround form. It's just got to be the travel to Tasmania for Fremantle, the long week, tired legs. There just doesn't seem to be anything. Outside, West Coast are going really well. They're true, they're getting first use. Dean Cox has been fantastic in that area. Longmuir coming on, trying to get first use of the footy. Hard to beat Dean Cox at the moment.
The 7-goal turnaround in this game now has the West Coast in control by 21 points, and the Dockers have 12 minutes to play to do something about it as Braun gives it to Fletcher, and again the Eagles go forward. Hanson's been terrific in the second half with 3 goals. A bad bounce for him. Judd, he's everywhere, through traffic, slices them up, gives it over to Wembley. Everybody wants to get involved here. The low ball, well rolled by Lynch. Will he go free kick for too high? Doesn't matter, doesn't need it. Gets a goal. Raining goals for the Eagles. They're all celebrating now. It's a Fremantle home game, but there's plenty of Eagles flags flying, and the confidence sky high for the West Coast.
The big unit has just about lost his head there. He's kept it. He's kept it. Did it beautifully. Shocking kick coming in from Andrew Embley. Well, Quinton Lynch, who was up to it, there's no doubt, kept his feet brilliantly, and that's just a huge effort. The Fremantle need to win it out of the centre. They just need to get first use of the football to get back into this game.
5 goals to West Coast in 14 minutes. Fremantle have not bothered the scorer. Kerr, not the most popular, but he is running strong to the finish. Inside 50. Webster. There's Judd taken by an arm, but still good enough to throw it on the boot. Danger zone again. Thornton hacks. Back to Hanson. Well done, Polak. Did well. Black to Carr. Gone out of the game. There's just nothing happening for Fremantle. 28 scoring shots to 16. A lot of those, mind you, are rush behinds, but the Eagles have surged since half-time, down by 21 points, and now lead by 27. This game has been turned on its head, and Kerr whacks it inside 50. Parker should mark uncontested, and does. Hanson, 3 goals, a couple to Lynch and Cox. Jamie Graham, who's off, receiving some treatment, a tooth, mouth injury. Interesting, Heathcote had 20-30 metres of his own and decided to hold it up. 10 minutes of play time to go. McFarlane provides the long lead.
It's a long way out on the outer side, and Pavlich does a similar thing, and he's away from Hunter, playing on quickly. Kick is poor though. Well wide of Medhurst. With Punda gets the Shepherd from Chick. Away go the Eagles once again. That's not a good kick. Parker coming through, busting through. Kick down the line, and this time Medhurst takes the mark.
Chick got caught out, getting involved in a bit of a fracas
Bit of a
with
push.
Webster. Yeah, he should have just concentrated on his man.
Medhurst, well measured for Josh Carr. .23 disposals for Josh Carr. He needs a goal here. 60 goals in his career. That's a beauty. That's a terrific kick, and he keeps the Dockers in it. First goal for a while for Fremantle. They still need 4 more if they're going to pinch a win.
Pavlich coming back into that. Adam Hunter was really struggling to keep up with him there. His teams are coming over towards the bench looking for a bit of assistance, and I think he has got an injury. And that really would hurt because Pavlich has been kept very quiet by Hunter, been a fantastic area, so it's either cramp yet. Cramp or Carr. He looks okay.
Much needed goal. The first goal for Fremantle since the 22-minute mark of the third quarter. Margin back to 21 points, and they'll get another chance. They're going to go forward again. Too many in the square a couple of times tonight. Hot on that, the boundary umpires. Havlet provides the long lead. He's dropped it. 3 on 2. And the tackle lingered. Now, no, he's paid a free kick for a high shot. Hunter on Pavlich, and Pavlich is holding his eye. Too far out to score. Right half forward through. He sees Justin Longmuir. Still too far out. Now Heath Black can load up. Oh. We'll have to go back. The Shepherd, Luke Webster.
Got the numbers back, the Eagles. They're all behind centre.
And Dean Cox is standing on his own just outside goal square. Now this will test Troy Cook. He is not the longest kick in the game. He'll have to kick from 50. And I dare say he hasn't kicked too many, but he's ever going to find something, Troy. This is it in game 150. Close to the man on the mark. He does give it everything. It's bending back. He's missed. Made the distance okay. 20 points to mark.
Just a rally from Fremantle at the moment. You know, they've had their break. Maybe West Coast have just worked themselves a little too hard now. Great contest here at Subi Oval.
Punda measured the kick to Embley. Chips it over the top. Fletcher running hard for him. Again, he goes up the line. Cox. Eagles working hard through the middle. Just creating options. Graham's back. That's a good sign for him. He's back on the ground as Hunter comes off. The ball is on the wing with Kerr. Up the line, good spoil. Comes back to Kerr, to Judd. Number 29 on the disposal sheet. Long ball inside 50. Emily right there. The spoil over the top was good. Nikoski, can he take it cleanly? He's got to get past Shammer. Also Hazelby. Wants to be careful here. It does spill out. Off someone's boot. It arrives for Hazelby. Walker on the left. 2 on 1. Should favour the Eagles here. Hunter can give it back to Glass. Eventually he does, off the turf. He goes back to Butler, who's flattened by Farmer after he kicks it. Hanson took the mark anyway. Hanson. Embley running hard again. The Eagles still have plenty of running. They lead by 20 points. Embley into the pocket. Lynch couldn't take it. In trouble. McFarlane runs into his own man, but Parker steadies now for the Dockers. Has to go very long, out to Longmuir. A long lead, he's got it now. Again off the turf. It's getting a little bit messy though. Carr, the kick, Headland's got to take it. And he does. Or does he?
He's been paid. They're having a go. Thornton from 60. Good vision. It was a great kick. Josh Carr worked very hard under pressure from Fletcher. And a goal here, and all of a sudden, it is game on again. 14 points will be the margin. He's already kicked the goal in this quarter.
He's just been very good in this way, Josh Carr, working from behind the football. And he's just been running up and giving that option on the forward 50 as a fifth forward. This is not just the second time he's done it. He's done it about 4 or 5 times. He was working overtime. The steal he's brought to this side has been fantastic.
And he's kicked the goal. Margin back to 14 points in the derby.
The recruiting of bringing this boy to the club really has been fantastic for Fremantle. At times, Fremantle might have just dropped off. They just had to look for someone special. Josh Carr has just got to be the best recruit outside of Peter Bell for this club in a long time.
Super player, playing game at number 108. And Josh Carr has been Fremantle's best. He's kicked 2 goals in this last term. He's given his team a chance.
They want numbers back, West Coast, and imploring Lynch and Cousins to get back behind this footy.
Lovely give on the up from Braun over to Kerr. High ball. Sampi arrives and marks. Plays on quickly. Cousins. 70 metres from goal. Onto his left. To the head of the square. Can the Eagles get a mark here? The spoil. Front and square. Fletcher. Paddling it. Didn't take it. Cook looks up. Saw a couple of Eagles. Had to go back to Bell. Bell in turn to Josh Carr. Up the line. Headland slides again. Well, this time didn't need the slide. He was out in front. Took the mark.
Plays on quickly. Well done, Banfield. Herded him up. To half forward. Here's the contest class. Too strong. Havlich looks tired. Kerr is running hard. Chip kick. Not great. Space favours the West Coast. And Embley. Dodd did a grand job on him for the first half. There's Banfield. Sit down. The veteran. 14 points. Time certainly the enemy for Fremantle. Tick over 42,000. Umpire waving his arms. Way on. Probing kick. McFarlane will fly again. It was good. It wasn't as good as the one prior to half time, but it was still certainly a defender's catch. And they're away again. Parker. Options, not many. Black, who's likely to favour this side. They've got to get the ball on quickly.
Better lead from Pavlich, who just seems to be, as you said, Tim, out on his feet at the moment. Glass really hammering it.
8 marks, 15 disposals for Pavlich. Here's Woods, late inclusion. Headland.
Would have put it doing that very well. You know, just didn't overcommit to Des Headland. Just shepherded him, just corralled him towards the boundary line and forced a mistake.
Time becoming the enemy of the Dockers now. They're pushing, but they've still got 14 points to make up, and we're down to just over 3 minutes. And Hansen finds Butler. Fletcher, right with Kerr, gets a bad bounce, and that'll be out of bounds off of Heath Black. The Eagles with 9 goals in the second half to the Dockers 4. What can Fremantle do from here? They must make every forward entry pay now.
Big tackle.
Good tackle. We wrapped it up. Butler kicks it forward through Staker's legs. Now a chance. The Dockers. The kick came from Polak. It was good knock on from Farmer, and Cook went without it. The Eagles resolute. Braun to Lynch. Farmer tries hard, but he just slips the tackle. Lynch kicks it high. Underneath it, Hansen, also underneath it. Woods, and he takes the mark, and he can go wider to McManus, but there's not a lot on for him. Sandilands has to provide an option. The big man runs to centre wing, takes the mark, plays on quickly, out in front of Headland, who's covering ground in this last turn. Right with him again is Weir Punda, and Weir Punda again, forcing it over the boundary line. They mopped up a minute there, the Eagles.
Just need to go direct, Fremantle at the moment, to keep on going wide. Time for them to straighten up. Get Pavlich back in the 15s and just start straight to full forward with the big pad.
Just doing enough, West Coast.
Deliberate, that's deliberate.
Yes. It is. Here's Black. Just bangs it in long. Justin on Banfield back with courage. Ball spills. Here's Jeffrey. Goal! There's a sniff. There's a sniff for the Dockers. Centre break time.
Banfield really shouldn't have gone. They should have stayed on the ground, committed to the back. Just should have stayed on the floor. But this is it for the Dockers. If they can get it here, the centre bounce, the break, move the footy forward. Anybody's game.
Farmer gets the goal. And it's a glimmer of hope still. Cousins has worked very hard. He's having a spell. Everything has to go right for the Dockers. They're running out of time. Black's been good at the end. Bangs it forward. Not the bounce Carl was looking for. Braun with speed. Farmer's there to help out again. Jump comes through. Farmer did well to drag him down. Still a chance to Dockers. Pilot's handball to Farmer. Carr under pressure. Got to knock it out. Butler in turn wants Braun. We're just over a minute. Judd still working. Bangs it forward. Wipunda's gone forward. Matera slides in, didn't take it. Could be a free to McManus, it is.
Gotta get up and go. No time. Absolutely no time. Now Troy Cook's got space on the centre wing. Mark, we come inside the voice of Carr. He steps outside Embley. He kicks long to half forward. Mark Hazelby too far out to score. Inside the final minute. They need a mark. They need a goal. And then they need to win a centre break. Here's the kick from Hazelby. Longview is the target. No mark. Numbers favour West Coast. Banfield, the give wasn't great. They dive in. Loose ball. 50-50. Headland tries to free the arms. The captain's there. The Eagles running down the seconds. They'd be happy with this. Glass ushers it back to the boundary line. Chick, that's enough. They've done enough, West Coast. They're away here and Lynch can take it. Didn't travel the required distance. They're going to win Derby 21. They've come from 21 points down. And West Coast will again win their 16th Derby at Subiaco Oval. Heath Black, the dying seconds, inside 50. The big fly at the back, Longmuir. Glass toe pokes it to the boundary line. And there it is. West Coast come back for a great victory. Wasfonds pumped.
It's going to be one of the best Western derbies I've seen at this ground. It had it all. Both sides having full momentum in a game of football, but both just battled on gallantly. Outstanding performance from Fremantle and West Coast. We've had it all today, boys. The marks, the goals, the tackles, and a bit of bit.
Terrific stuff. A wonderful performance by the Eagles to come back, and just when they were running away with it, the Dockers found another gear, were surging at the end, but they have run out of time. Terrific victory for the Eagles. All of their stars coming to the fore in the second half. Cousins in trouble early, played very well. Here's Tiffany Cherry.
Chris doesn't get much bigger than that and better apart from a final.
Yeah, exactly. Obviously, there's a huge rivalry between the two clubs, and come from behind, win it, doesn't get much sweeter.
And to see a lot of the unheralded players on the West Coast Eagles, I know John said that he's been pleased the last couple of wins. It's been quite even across the board.
Definitely, I think sort of the latter half of last season and certainly the start of this season has been very even across the board and really tough to match up on, so everyone's pulling their weight.
You're struggling to get your breath there. No wonder. You had 30 plus possessions. It was saying you've been down the last couple of games, and you really rose to the occasion for this one.
Yeah, it was good. I mean, as you said before, it was a pretty even pretty even contest, and both sides worked really hard, so just wrapped to have the win.
How much momentum what does this mean for the Eagles?
Oh, it's just a very good start. It's probably 3 and zip. It's the best we started a year in the last 3 years, so that's exciting, but certainly a long way to go yet.
All right, another home game next week. Best of luck.
Thank you. Thanks, Tim.
Well, he certainly put in his best performance to give himself a chance of winning the Ross Glendinning medal. 31 disposals, 9 inside forward 50, kicked the goal, but as he mentioned, Peter and Tim, the Eagles 3 and zip, and they're back home again next week against the Western Bulldogs. They join the Kangaroos in Melbourne at the top of the table.
I'll tell you what, that's how important this win meant for John Worsfold. He was out of that box. He wanted to get out on the ground quick, smart. It's a big win.
We'll take a break from Subiaco. John Worsfold's happy. His team have got up by 8 points.